the world by storm.
No.
In spite of so many different things, they're above 500 and in first place this afternoon. And that's something worth celebrating, Chris.
You got to feel good about that if you're an Astro fan. You really have to feel good, given everything you just laid out and literally what this season looked like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And we're still not even at the trade deadline yet. But given what the season looked like 2 weeks ago, coming out of the All-Star break, I got a question I'm going to ask you later, but we're going to save that. You're smiling at me. We're not streaming today again, but if you can see small right now.
We look hot.
We look good right now. We really do. Just going to say that.
We do. I mean, Chris looks good. I look hot. I smell like donkey. I was out at Texans training camp earlier this morning. So,
you've been outside in this sweltering humidity and heat.
And I forgot to put on antiperspirant, and I normally do. So if it's stank in here, sorry.
I'm trapped in here with a guy with no deodorant
Yeah,
on.
you were trapped in here with a stinky, pasty man. But we got smiles on our face.
It's all right. We do. But, like I'm saying, the Astros, you got to feel really good about how this team looks right now. Climbing, scratching, clawing their way back up into first place. And after that win last night, it would have been nice if everyone could have seen it. But that's fine. It was on, Apple TV last night? Yeah.
You don't bring the vibes down, because that bring the vibes down.
It's all right, but they won. So I guess that's all people care about is that they won.
I'm not going to lie. I went into that game with a bit of a sour puss on my face because I realized at 7 o'clock, it's on Apple TV. I have to subscribe to Apple TV.
Yeah.
Since I'm watching it on a Fire Stick, I can't actually log in with my newly subscribed Apple TV account. So now I have to watch it on my phone. There are a lot of annoying things to get over in the early going, but they were off to the races in this 11-2 win very early. We're about to throw to a clip. This is when I knew the game was done. I felt very confident. Here is Yordan Alvarez with the bases loaded, taking care of business.
Alvarez up the middle. Hits. 1 run is in. Here comes a second. The throw cut off. A 2-run single for Alvarez, who cut through yet again.
Give him the MVP right now.
Yet again. Listen to that. Comes through yet again.
And it's not like he's going out of the ballpark every single time he's at the plate.
No.
He's the best hitter in baseball because he can beat you in so many different ways. Comes in clutch there. And I mean, that's all they needed. It was 3-zip at that moment. They win the game 11-2 in a game where it wasn't Hunter Brown's best. We hope he continues to get a little bit more comfortable as he comes back from injury. But it starts with Yordan, and so many good things.
There.
So many good things comes out of Yordan Alvarez.
He hits for average. He hits for power. He hits in the clutch.
Mm-hmm.
If the Astros win this division, even if they just get a wild card to make the playoffs, is he guaranteed, or should he be guaranteed the MVP?
I think so.
I think if they get in, if he continues this next, I guess 2 months here,
right?
Yeah, you got to give it to him.
Does being a designated hitter get held against him? I do wonder about that.
I think some of the writers still kind of hold that to a certain, because he doesn't play in the field every day, obviously.
Right.
Occasionally, yes, but not every day.
We have seen a DH only Shohei Ohtani win the MVP, but it's almost like Shohei Ohtani gets credit in a year where he doesn't pitch. He still has pitched in the past.
Yes, yeah.
Right, because there was that one season where he was injured and he wasn't pitching. But Yordan, at this moment in time, he should be the MVP. But everybody else in the lineup last night, Chris, was clicking. It was Jeremy Pena with a couple of clutch RBI hits. It was back-to-back Zach Banners and Christian Walker hitting him into the Crawford boxes. I was a little uncomfortable with the way that the Apple TV sideline reporter kept on saying depositing the balls in the Crawford boxes. I don't know why. The word deposit just was strange to me. But she goes out to left field.
Did it rub you wrong?
It did.
Not right. It rubs you wrong.
Two back-to-back home runs to left field. And then you've also got another great performance from Yainer Diaz, who, for the second straight night, 4 for 5 with a home run and made a couple of key defensive plays. There was a rundown that he made Hunter Brown aware of, a guy who was trying to steal. I mean, it was a really good performance by him. 18 hits, a season high, against Nathan Eovaldi, who's having a pretty good year. I mean, this was an incredible win. to cap off a very satisfying week. Sweeping the Angels. They're the Angels. We saw the Angels. Angels it up out there. Here is...
Angels it up.
I mean, it's like in the movie... Angels in the Outfield. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
It's the best baseball movie ever.
Really?
There's a line by one of the players named Maple in it. I can recite this by heart. Now it's a big bummer. No matter who we play, we give the game away because we can't win. That would be a sin. We even lose the games before it begins. Save it, Maple! And then it's Danny Glover who comes in with a rant. One more loss. One more loss that could have been a win. And you call yourself professionals. This is the sorriest group of players I've seen in 95 years. You don't play as a team. You don't work as a team. You don't even look like a team. Y'all got your heads so far up your butts, you can't even see the light of day. One more loss and I'll do this. Rah! Show up tomorrow at 9 a.m. We're going back to fundamentals. Sorry, I had to get that off of my chest. Beating the Angels, sweeping the Angels, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
you expect that, but...
To start off this series against the Texas Rangers, who seem to be your biggest competition in the American League West because the Mariners can't get their act together. This was super satisfying. So here is my, after all of these positive vibes, to open up the segment.
Are you going to bring us down?
Here's my tough question.
Okay.
Is this the high water mark for the Astros all season? Is it possible? Because
are we saying last night's game?
Yeah, last night's game.
Ooh.
You just beat your arch rival 11-2 to clinch the season series.
Yeah.
You have first place for the first time in a very long time. You are over 500 for the first time in a very long time. Is this the happiest we're going to feel about the Astros all year? 713-572-4610. That is how you call. That is how you text.
I would hope it's not the happiest all year. I mean, it's only August 1st.
I agree.
We got literally let's just say 2 full months left of the regular season. Mm-hmm. If this is the highest they're going to get, then
that would suck.
We're in for disappointment. The city of Houston is in for disappointment down the stretch.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say no.
Good.
It's great. It's great. It's great to be in first place, but let's see here. They're a half game up in first place. Hell, they lose tonight, they could be back in second place.
Yep.
Now, it would obviously be just half a game, but
back at 500.
And back at 500. So, no. Last night, it was great. It was awesome. I think the biggest thing is to see all the bats get going, not just Alvarez.
Yeah.
Last night. Not just him carrying everything, as he's done most of the year.
It makes you feel like the offense can carry the pitching when the pitching isn't having their best game. And it wasn't Hunter Brown's best game last night. The Rangers made him work to get every single out. But here's another cherry on top as to why this might be the Astros' high water mark all year. You also had Carlos Correa, who I thought was out for the year, doing some light work out on the field. I mean, we're just rolling out all of the fireworks on the vibes wagon here.
So you think we see him back before the end of the year?
I mean, I guess it's possible now. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen any word of anything, but I don't know if you have. But the fact that he was out there, even just doing light work, even if he's just out there working with a trainer, stretching, maybe throwing the ball a little bit, playing a little soft toss, whatever it is, long toss. That's a good sign to see him just on the field.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And again, it's August 1st. We still got time.
We still
got time left. There's a lot of time left. There's a lot of baseball left to be played in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Be able to get that guy back, get Correa back, even if it's September 1st when he comes back. That's a whole month left worth of baseball to ramp up. And obviously they're going to be in a race here for the postseason. That's what it's looking like here. So yeah, that's a big sign. That's a huge sign.
From a vibes perspective,
great vibes.
It's very fun.
It's great vibes,
and it makes me want to. This wouldn't be a good trade, but again, if we want the vibes to be higher, it's George Springer, because you don't have to give up much to get George Springer.
Okay, yeah.
And listen, you heard me last week, and I was being a rational baseball fan, a checked out baseball fan.
Yeah.
But I'm all the way back in again.
Oh, you're back in now.
I mean, I would be the worst baseball general manager. I flip-flop so quick.
All right, so We're going to tease this again, but
we'll do it again.
I got a question for you. I'm not going to do it now.
You're not going to do it now?
I got a question for I want them to stick around.
Yeah,
right? I got to tease them a little bit.
Hang out with us, guys.
Got to dangle that carrot a little bit, right? Got to dangle that a little bit.
I would dangle the cupcake.
Cupcakes are better.
Who wants a carrot?
Well, you might like carrot cake.
I love carrot cake.
See, I don't. I'm not a big carrot person. Probably why my eyes are so bad.
Well,
but I'm not a big carrot person.
Doesn't taste like carrots.
Yeah, but sometimes there's too many carrots in it for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But it's moist.
Yes, it is.
Does that word make you uncomfortable?
A little bit.
It makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
I mean, I like the word, but
But look, the vibes are high for the Astros, and they got me moist. They're giving me the vapors right now.
Giving you the vapors,
I'm sweating. I got the hot
old school there.
The hot meat sweats after this big time Astros win last night, where the Texas Rangers 11-2.
Did they?
I think there's a chance this is the high water mark. I would be disappointed, but today I very much enjoy it, especially since later today I am going to the game today.
Okay.
Thanks to my friends at Prize Picks. I'm actually going into the game, and it'll be a very interesting time. I'm going to get my El Tiempo margarita, and I'm going to sit there and watch some person sweat out a bet. I'm very excited about it because, honestly, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, what's this going to be like? Are the vibes going to be good? Are there going to be more Rangers fans there?
But that's what I'm saying. Just 2 weeks ago, the whole vibe of the city surrounding the Astros, it was different.
Right.
It was completely different 2 weeks ago.
Because they looked like doo-doo against the Baltimore Orioles. They didn't even show up. They looked lifeless. There was that moment where Zach DeZenzo's not even running it out to first base. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
And they have followed up since then with just a lot of great baseball. And since the American League West has just been so giving to the Astros, this is why they find themselves now in first place. And this is why I find myself saying, you know what? Bleep it. Who cares about the future? There's going to be a lockout. We might have a nuclear war, aliens invasion. Who knows? Bleep it. Go all in.
Go all in.
Let's do something fun. Bring back Justin Verlander.
Ooh.
Bring back George Springer.
So you just want to get the whole band back
together. Get the whole band back together, where it's like the Expendables movie, where you got all the action stars from the 80s in it. Stallone and Schwarzenegger and the guy who plays Ivan Drago. I think even Melton got here at one point.
Do you really want Verlander back?
No, not really.
Okay.
But it would be fun.
Okay.
No, these aren't serious suggestions. I am curious what the Astros are going to do at the trade deadline, though. They are going to be aggressive. Someone texted in, and this is apparently true, that there was an Astros trade in the works today. The Astros trade would have been to go and acquire a outfielder from the Minnesota Twins. It would have been Trevor Larnach. Brian Abreu would have gone to Minnesota in said trade, but apparently, per Michael Marino, Jim Crane canceled the trade at the last minute. For those who don't know, Larnach is a lefty outfielder. I did not, again, the baseball casual that I am, I had no idea who he was until earlier today. I'm just saying that. But he's a lefty bat. Yeah.
That's what they've been, looking at. But you just said Jim Crane, vetoed, nixed it.
He vetoed it.
So obviously there was something there that, and look, they got 2 days left. August 3rd. Monday is the trade deadline. So there's still a lot, let's just say, 48 hours, whatever it may be. There's a lot of time left. Like that's a lot of time to get a deal done.
Yep.
Maybe not that deal, but another deal. So there might be something bigger, not huge, but something a little bigger than that.
Yeah.
On Crane's radar. Maybe that could be the reason. I'm just speculating.
I want something more.
Of course you do.
Because if they make a big deal on trade deadline, I can come back next Saturday if we're on again, and I can say, is this the high water mark of the Astros season? Just completely recycle the segment.
We're just going to keep going with that.
We'll just keep asking it. Is this the greatest day of this Astros season? But right now, yeah, it is. This was an awesome win last night. To go above 500 like that, I don't know if you can do it in a more satisfying way. 11-2, 18 hits. You beat the hell out of Nathan Eovaldi, who got the better of you in the Astros-Rangers playoff series a couple of years ago. It doesn't make up for losing the ALCS.
No, but it had to feel good.
Did you?
It had to feel good.
It must have.
It had to.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
All right.
Can you guess what the Astros record is against the Rangers since the start of 2017?
Oh, God. Since the start of the 2017 season.
They've played nearly 162 games. It's been very close. 155 total games. Guess the record.
Ooh. The Astros record. I'll say they've won. I'll say a little bit over 50% of those games.
Dude, they're 155 against the Rangers since 2017. Isn't that crazy?
Okay, 155.
It's like 66%.
Okay, 60. Oh, wow.
Yeah. They own this team.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, you go back to the first half of the 2010s, and the Rangers were in the World Series a couple of times, and they really owned the Astros. But really since 2017.
Just overall,
during this Astros run, it has been so one-sided, and the Rangers have almost as many World Series as the Astros have over that stretch.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Which is crazy.
The 2023 is...
Wow.
I mean, all they had to do, oh, God, I'm bringing the vibes down. I'm not going to do it, okay? The Astros are back above 500.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, all they had to do was beat the Rangers. Doing? All Frommer had to do was not crap his pants just once. Like, he did it twice. Anyway, but
let it go.
I will let it go. Let it go.
It's in the past.
Let it go.
That was 3 years ago. Let it go.
I'm a blonde little girl who killed her sister. Let it go. Let it go. Sorry, I'm ruining the plot of Frozen for everybody.
All right, Elsa. Is it Elsa?
Yeah, but I'll listen. All the adults driving out there. If you had to watch that with your daughter a million times, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You hate Elsa too.
Oh my God!
Sorry, it's sorry to the little children who are listening.
Elsa. Come on.
No. They're not my favorite Elsa. I'll just leave it at that.
The way she apparently killed her sister, I guess. I don't know.
She did. Whoa, magic! She's back from the dead. He's Chris Partee. I'm Paul Gallant. Back from the dead. The Astros. They're a game above 500. They just beat the bejesus out of the Texas Rangers last night, 11-2. We'll keep on reliving that awesome victory. And Texans training camp, day 4.
Ooh.
I was out there. I was sweating. I stink right now.
We can smell them up in here.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe I'm actually defending this guy, given all the things that I've said about him over the last couple of months. But I am about to defend the wall for the most criticized figure in the National Football League. Stick around. He's Chris Partee. I'm Paul Gallant. Sports Radio 610 weekends on the soon to be 95.7 The Fan's 13th. How?
Exclusive content. Sports Radio 610. The Texans play here.
Hey, it's Brew. Between my radio show, filming content, editing videos, and trying to stay connected with family, reliable Wi-Fi isn't really optional anymore. I just need it to work. That's why I like that with Xfinity, you get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment.
Live from the West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land Studios, it's Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Yordan Alvarez crushes one high and deep. Forget about it. 44 just mashes the first pitch he sees tonight for his 35th home run of the year. And the Astros out in front 1-0.
That was Yordan on Tuesday, I believe, as the Astros took down the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of California, of the United States of America, of North America, formerly of Pangea, of the Earth, of the solar system, of the Milky Way galaxy, of the universe. It was a big, big, big week for the Astros. They cap it off with an 11-2 beatdown of the Texas Rangers last night at Daikin Park. They are now a game above 500, and on top of that, they are in first place. It'll be really interesting to see if they can keep that momentum alive tonight. I will be out at Daikin Park. Paul Gallant and Chris Partee with you here, Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
With your margarita.
I'm going to go to the correct place to go get your El Tiempo frozen margarita, and they should be paying me, but it's fine.
Why, did you go to the wrong place last time?
There's only one place to go.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple of places that you can get it, but you want to go on the third base line, because Crystal, who's running the stand there, gets you through like the way TSA should get you through when you're trying to fly a plane.
Goodness.
She is so damn quick. Have your ID out, have your credit card ready to go. You'll get your El Tiempo margarita, and I'm going to see the ace, formerly known as Jacob deGrom, against Ronald Blanco. Do you like my Duolingo learning skills?
Well, see, you've been working on that, huh?
Not very well, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Ronald Blanco.
Just a little bit.
So it'll be interesting to see, too, if Blanco, as he gets closer and, more acclimated, being back after having Tommy John surgery last year. I'll be curious to see how long he will go in this game. So Astros, Rangers on deck tonight. Texans training camp day 4. I was out there earlier today, but before I talk about what I saw, Chris, I'm really curious about how you're feeling after a very long week for CJ Stroud, who is getting crushed for, of all things, a video that on the Houston Texans X, formerly Twitter, has gotten 20 million views. It's of CJ Stroud walking into Texans training camp with shorts, baggy ones that we would wear in the early 2000s, and a baggy T-shirt. I had no issue with it. But the internet, and I'm a metrosexual. Everyone says, like, Paul, you're a little bit too into the fashion game. It's making us wonder some things about you. Everyone clowned him, Chris.
Yeah.
On a level that, even for CJ Stroud, I'm like, hold up. Relax, guys.
That's how bored we are right now. That's how bored we are on the last week of July. Today is August 1st. I had to go look at it when I heard about this before I actually saw it. And I'm like, okay, I was expecting to see something completely outrageous that he was wearing, right? I look and I'm like, okay, he's got a white tee on. There's no logo, nothing on the front at least. Got his backpack on, and some little like athletic shorts. And I'm like, so what is the big? What do you expect him to wear to training camp? I mean, he's supposed to be in the 3-piece suit. Like what? I don't understand what people are looking for. I don't get it.
He needs to have a custom T-shirt.
Can he be comfortable?
Where's his bling?
Can he just be comfy? Oh, he didn't have 17 chains on. Not 2 chains, but 17 chains. He didn't have 17 chains on.
Why didn't he look like Flava Flav?
I don't get this generation. I don't understand it. Just of people in general. Not just the age thing, just people. Like we're so looking for something to talk about. That's what we go with.
It's high school energy.
I don't get it.
It's Mean Girls. It's a guy who is now such an easy target that people are coming after him for anything. And in a way, I do think this is good for him. I think he's handling this well.
You think it's good? Why?
Yeah, because at this point, I mean, they're going to just hate on you for everything. So
pretty much,
if this is something that maybe got to you in the past, by this point, you're like, well, I can't win. Why do I even need to pay attention to any of this?
Yeah. Especially when you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, it can come off bad at times, but sometimes you just got to not give a crap about what people think. You just kind of have to.
Especially if you're a quarterback.
Yes, and you kind of have to.
And to what you were mentioning a moment ago about kids these days.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different for them than it was for us.
Of course it is. You can call me grandpa. I'm fine with that. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. All right. I don't care. But it just, we're so looking for something to talk about. Yeah. I get it. There's no football right now. There, basketball and nothing going on. Yeah, we're in the middle of the baseball season. If you're not really that into now, obviously the Astros have given you something to cheer about recently. But before the last, couple of weeks, there wasn't much going on in terms of, for the Houston area.
Right,
in terms of baseball. Nothing great going on. But I get it. You want something to talk about, but I didn't see anything wrong with this outfit.
I didn't either. I thought it was smart. Like it's hot as balls here.
Yeah.
Why would you wear anything fashionable if you are walking from the parking lot at NRG Stadium, which is across the street from NRG Stadium? Like, why? If you're going to walk about a football field in this city, you don't want to be fashionable. You don't want to wear jeans. You don't want to wear a cool shirt, unless it's like a Hawaiian shirt and shorts or something like that. And even then, it's early in the morning. You're going to get up and do your hair and
to go to training camp.
Yeah.
To run around at practice. It doesn't make sense.
Look, he deserves a lot of criticism for the playoff performance. And
we get that. We understand.
He has a lot to do to, I think, earn the trust of a lot of this city back. And some people got his back, and you know what? All the power in the world to you. I wish I had the faith you had in C.J. Stroud right now. I really do. But this was so ridiculous, and in a way, I think it's going to be good for him. And to his credit,
I hope so.
He saw somebody making fun of him in a video online, and he laughed at it. And he can lean into it, laugh at it. I am curious if the next time that he's available, because I don't think anyone knew that video was going to blow up the way that it did. I am curious if anyone's going to ask him, like, what do you think of all this?
Somebody's going to ask him. They have to.
If I was out there, I would ask him that.
You got to ask him.
But we'll see when his next availability is. If he's available next Saturday, Saturdays are the only days I can go now to Texans training camp. That's a little thing that we like to call life. You got to grow up sometimes.
It happens, man.
You got to get a real 9 to 5 during the week. But we appreciate Sports Radio 610 putting us both on the air. 713-572-4610 to call, to text.
Oh, and to correct myself from earlier, we actually are streaming.
We're streaming now.
Shout out our boy Brandon Scott.
Mm-hmm. And Bryson Scruggs behind the glass. B. Scott came up to the station just to get us streaming. On his off day.
Mm-hmm. I'll be on with him tomorrow from 12 to 3.
There we go. Weekend programming is back at Sports Radio 610. Somebody texted in asking, Paul, are you going to do this every single weekend? We will see. You're going to hear a lot of Chris. You're going to hear a lot of me. You're going to hear a lot of B. Scott. You're going to hear a lot of the other people. But I think it's great that we're bringing weekend programming back. When I first came here in 2011, that's how I got my first reps across the hallway in the studio that overlooks NRG Stadium and the Astrodome and the practice bubble where the Texans work. We're on YouTube at Sports Radio 610 Houston. Not sure if the Twitch is up. It might be, but
we are on YouTube.
Watch the YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
If you're not in your car, go to YouTube.
Or listen on Sports Radio 610, or listen on soon-to-be 95.7 The Fan, August 13th.
And let's not forget the Odyssey app.
Mm-hmm.
You can get us there, too. Odyssey.
And on top of that,
we're going to plug everything right now.
100.3 HD2. So we appreciate you jumping aboard with us. I was out at Texans training camp earlier this afternoon. Some quick observations. First off, every single practice is its own ecosystem. I am not going to act like I have a lot of things to piggyback off of from Wednesday through yesterday. I'm going off of the observations of the people I trust, whether it's John Harris or Jonathan Alexander in the Chronicle who have write-ups, or it's my guy Cody Stoots who's putting the write-ups out there. It's, for me, what I saw today. So don't get too crazy about what I saw. It was a little frustrating to watch at first for the offense. They got better as practice went on, but the first couple of plays, Danielle Hunter was eating them alive. So I guess if you want to take the positive out of that, yeah.
Eating them alive.
The Texans' defense is still damn scary, but the first two plays, Danielle Hunter coming off of the edge, blows by the left tackle for what would have likely been a sack. They're not going to touch C.J. Stroud. And then the very next play, the Texans tried to run a draw play, and he blew that one up too.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it just a couple of weeks ago that we were hearing stuff about people wanting the defense to take it a little bit easy on the offense come training camp?
Iron sharpens iron.
But wasn't that a thing?
Probably.
I believe that was a thing a few weeks, maybe it was a month ago. I don't remember. But it wasn't that people were,
don't kill their confidence.
Yeah, exactly. Don't kill their confidence.
Treat them like the kid that probably shouldn't be on the team who gets to score the touchdown on the last play of the game. No, don't do that, guys.
I'm just like, how do you get better? How do you get better if the number one defense in the league is just gonna play like they're the number 20 defense in the league at practice? I'm like, come on, man.
Iron sharpens iron.
Stop it.
I like that the offense has brought a little bit of physicality to the table. There was a moment where Keelan Rutledge put Azeez Al-Shaair on his ass in, I think, the first practice, and I don't think the Texans defense liked that so much, but that's what you want to see out of the rookie, and I bet Azeez Al-Shaair wants to see that out of the rookie. C.J. Stroud, how did he look? The bright side.
Yeah.
He was a little more careful with the football. I think he's gotten a little careless with the ball of late, and I would rather him take a sack than try to force something. He was holding on to it a little bit long at first, but I think as practice went on, he got the ball out quickly. He made a couple of nice throws in the pocket and under pressure, a couple of nice ones to Dalton Schultz. One of them he made with Jalen Petrie bearing down on a blitz. I would rather him hold on to the ball than go YOLO. Take the sack when it's coming. It stinks. Don't get concussed, please.
No.
But
you don't want nothing like not in training camp. Come on.
Remember what he said.
You don't want that.
Right, exactly. Don't be Superman. You talk about how you feel the need to be Superman all the time and that you learn you don't have to be Superman. Don't be Superman. You don't have to. You need to take care of the football because the defense is going to help you out a lot.
Yeah. Now, I guess my question is be like, why is he holding onto the ball too long? Is it because he's going through his reads, his progressions, and no one? Is it because he's just not sure of what's going on?
The sky camera
what's going on?
would be able to tell better than me.
Obviously.
So, honestly, off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure. The Texans defense is awesome, too.
They are.
I mean, there was a moment where on the far sideline, Kamari Lassiter was locked up with Nico Collins, and you're typically expecting Derek Stingley against Nico Collins, and Kamari was all over him. It was incredible coverage. And
you want to see that, though.
I mean, but that's what this defense is. I mean, from a secondary perspective and from a defensive end perspective, it's about as good as it gets.
Quick question.
Hit me.
I know we got to go to break here soon. Quick question. Anything on the other receivers outside of Nico Collins so far? I know it's still early in training camp, but anything you may have noticed while you were out there with, Jalen Noel?
Well, Noel.
Anybody else?
Noel not available yet. We'll see when he actually starts practicing.
That's right.
It's all good. Jaden Higgins had a nice catch over the seam, and Stroud put it in a good spot because it was a potential hospital ball, but Stroud put it in the right spot on this throw. Well, it was in a tough area. It was in a dangerous area. Yeah. So Higgins had a nice catch there. I think D'Amico has seen a little bit better chemistry between Stroud and Higgins than we've seen in the past. It wasn't really great last year. The drop-off from C.J. Stroud to Davis Mills is very noteworthy, guys. And for anyone with the pipe dream that this team would do better with Davis Mills, maybe you do bench C.J. Stroud after 4 interceptions in the first half against the Patriots and see what happens. But Davis Mills at times last year, check that Buffalo Bills game out, how things were really difficult. Check out the entire game before the 19-point comeback against Jaguar. We looked. Davis Mills is decidedly a backup in this league, and I'm just telling anybody who has it in their thick skull that he should be ahead of Stroud. You're on the drugs.
There's still some people out there on that are Team Davis Mills. There's still some folks out there.
Yeah, and,
they're out there,
and it's like you weren't watching the team in 2022, which I wouldn't blame you for. It's been interesting seeing the running game. Clearly, they're trying to be a little more patient there with both David Montgomery, who's just a big-looking dude, and with Woody Marks, who looked like he was on ski moguls on one of the carries that he had. There was a fight at one point. It was backups. I'll be honest. I don't know what started it, and I don't know who was involved in it. Number 63, I think, was one of the guys.
that happens. You know, scuffles. It's football, people. Scuffles are going to happen.
Keelan Rutledge, we're not allowed to say where anyone's lining up. I'll just say Keelan Rutledge was all over the place. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. He's versatile.
That's a good thing.
It is.
That's a good thing.
But that's what the Texans love doing, is mixing and matching offensive linemen. So we'll see where he ends up playing. Does seem like he's going to get playing time early, but again, time will tell. Just a personal observation. I hate it when receivers are going to have a tough time making the team drop passes. A couple of guys who did that today. I always feel bad for them.
That's why they're going to have a tough time making the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're not helping their cause.
It's a very deep group at receiver. Especially with Tank Dell coming back, and you can't afford any little slip-ups like that. I feel like two guys basically spelled their end of the time. Basically, they have just ensured that they're not going to make the team with two drops that they had today.
Yeah, and the thing about that is, when you're one of those guys at the end of that roster group, receivers specifically, you're trying out for other teams as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're putting, especially once you get to preseason, if you get to preseason, you're hoping to pick up with someone else if you're not going to make it in Houston, especially if they've pretty much got their guy set already. So when you're dropping passes, that's not helping your case for even other teams.
Right.
It's just not.
Nope. So best of luck to those guys. And again, the defense. Danielle Hunter had a big game. Kalen Bullock had a couple of nice plays. One really awesome deflected pass where he dove for. And how about the rookie? Old McDonald blew up a screen. E-I-E-I-O. It was a nice performance by Caden McDonald in day number 4. So there you go. That's Texans training camp day 4. I was out there earlier today. You got any thoughts? You got any questions? 713-572-4610 is how you call. It's how you text. He is Chris Partee. I am Paul Gallant. Sports Radio 610 weekends on the soon-to-be radio channel 95.7 The Fan. 713-572-4610 again to call it the text. We're also on YouTube. Check us out in Vivid HD. Coming up next, we're going to go around the National Football League. I am excited about a development that took place that will affect the Houston Texans in week 1. But it also has me wondering about a Houston Legends fit with this guy. What am I talking about? You'll find out on the flip side as we go around the National Football League. Paul Gallant and Chris Partee, Sports Radio 610 weekends.
What kind of impact does D'Amico expect new Texans? Live from the West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land studios, it's Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Left field, way back there, and gone. Another shot by Paredes into the Crawford boxes.
Hits for the Astros last night in an 11-2 win over the Texas Rangers. They're a game over 500, and they're back in first place in the AL West. Right after that, home run by Isaac Paredes. Christian Walker went deep. Big day for Yainer Diaz as well, 4 for 5 with a home run. Yordan Alvarez had a bases-loaded situation, and they should have walked him, but instead they let him hit. He gets a 2 RBI base hit with a couple of RBI hits. Cam Smith had a triple and looked the most animated we've seen him all year. Astros kicked the Rangers' ass in a night where Hunter Brown did not look so good. Paul Galon and Chris Partee with you, Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Man, it feels like many times Yordan should be getting that Barry Bonds treatment.
Dude.
Where, especially in that situation where he's up, bases juiced, or just a couple guys in scoring position. Right?
Yeah.
But he's not.
If I were playing against Yordan Alvarez in MVP baseball as a Rangers fan, which I'm not, I would be giving him the same treatment that in MVP baseball 2005 I gave to Alex Rodriguez, where I plunk him every single time. You should not ever pitch to Yordan Alvarez with the bases loaded.
Okay, we're not saying hit him. But.
I'm not. But I would understand why Rangers fans who, are dirty, dirty people, I can understand why they would maybe think to do so. And I'm very curious about tonight's vibes because the Astros are on a roll.
Are they?
Rangers, I would imagine, since it's a Saturday game, there will be a good amount of Rangers fans in attendance. I wonder what it's going to be like. Are we going to see a squab or two? Don't fight, guys. It's always embarrassing. Don't fight. Just because you had a couple of drinks, it's no reason to get in a fight with somebody who's wearing a different color shirt than you.
I still will never understand that. I just never. Football, basketball, or baseball, whatever it is, I just do not understand fighting.
Yeah.
I know people get drunk. I get it, but it's just too much.
When I was 14,
the most.
I fight
at
sports.
Game?
No, it was
okay.
It was while we were watching. This was when I was on the JV football team my freshman year. We were watching the actual high school football team play. We were playing a little game of pickup football, and kids from the other school made fun of me because I was wearing a Red Sox shirt the day after Aaron Boone hit the home run that sent him home. So we got in a fight.
So you was in your feels.
And he ripped my Nomar shirt.
Little
did I know that
Nomar
would not be a part of the World Series the very next year. Anyway,
but you
I've
were
been
14.
There. Yeah.
You were 14.
I was a stupid idiot. Some say I still am, but
we're talking about fully grown adults.
Yeah.
Usually men more often than not. Fully grown. I've seen guys look like they're in their 50s and 60s fighting. Clips of them fighting at games. I'm like, really? Y'all too old for that.
Speaking of guys looking like they're in their 50s or 60s, I don't know how old Tony Romo is, but did you get a chance, Chris, this week to see Tony Romo's OWI while leaving a golf event in Wisconsin?
I did.
We do have some audio of that in case you missed it, and it's going to lead to an interesting change in the very near future. Mm-hmm. Take it away, Tony Romo and the Popo.
Do not start to walk until you're told to do so.
Okay.
Do you understand the instructions so far?
So put my left foot down, right foot in front on the line, and then I'm going to wait for you. Okay.
Do you understand the instructions?
No, I don't. There's too many. You got to go step by step.
Okay. All right. So take your left foot, put it on the line, the straight line, real or imaginary.
You can show me how to do it real quick.
Take your right foot.
So left foot, put the right foot in front.
Left foot on the line, right foot in front, heel to toe touching.
So right here?
Yep. Heel to toe touching.
Oof. Yep, just like this. Left foot on the line, right foot directly in front of it, arms down at your side while she explains the rest of the instructions.
Got it.
Oh, man.
Stay here.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
So there you go. Tony Romo's OWI. There's more.
That sounded brutal.
Yeah.
But I saw the video.
Yeah.
Or some of it, yeah.
There was a moment where he asks the question, did I just fail that part of the test? And they don't answer it. And he says, I guess so. So what does that mean for Tony Romo? Ooh, I don't know, Jim, as the lead analyst at CBS. Well, Tony Romo has been placed on a leave of absence by CBS, which means that J.J. Watt, Houston Texans legend, is going to rise the ranks and be Jim Nance's right-hand guy for, I would imagine, Week 1 between the Texans and Bills on CBS.
Week 1, yeah.
There's a very good chance. That's probably the prime matchup for the noon window in Week 1. I would think that the A-team treatment is given to a game like this with two playoff teams from last year with at least a quarterback in C.J. Stroud, who people used to believe in, and Josh Allen, arguably the best quarterback in the game. So we're going to see Houston Cougars, Jim Nance with J.J. Watt.
Man.
I do not share the opinions of the drive on Jim Nance. I think that from all accounts, people who have interacted with Jim Nance have said he's one of the most stand-up dudes in this city. I hope I get to meet him someday. I am curious, though, about the chemistry that he's going to have with JJ. I say that from this perspective as I get into a little nerdy broadcasting. There's a straight man nature to JJ Watt that Ian Eagle, who is the number 2 guy on CBS, does a great job of playing off of. So the play-by-play guy is the kind of funny one. Yeah. And JJ's the straight guy who can play off of it. I am curious as to how Jim Nance, who's broadcasting professional, a straight man, plays off with JJ Watt, who maybe continues to unlock more and more personality. Yeah. I am curious what that fit's going to be like. I don't think it's going to be great in the early going. Obviously, it'll get better over time.
You got to give it time.
This has nothing to do with Jim Nance or JJ Watt. What I think about them as broadcasters, obviously, both are. JJ Watt's going to be a star, and Jim Nance has been the guy for such a long time. I am curious about the chemistry, but we will get to see it in action, and that's pretty cool to have JJ Watt on the first game of the year for the Texans.
And you're also talking about guys in Watt and Romo with different personalities. Romo's kind of wacky. You know what I mean? Like he's a little maybe a lot wacky in his coverage, in his analyzing the game.
He made a lot of noises that you hear at massage parlors.
Okay,
no, not like that. Someone gets a knot out of your back, or just because Deshaun Watson ruined it for everybody. It doesn't always go back to that. Hey,
I love a good knot taken out of my back, and maybe other areas as well. Okay, who doesn't, right?
Oh yeah. No, that's really nice.
That doesn't have to be uncomfortable.
No, it doesn't.
Bryson, are you uncomfortable by me saying that?
Guys should
not
have.
At all. Okay, thank you. I'm just saying, like, you should be able to go get a knot taken out of your back.
He's not. All right. Bryson's not Dan Orlovsky. Who's you can't primp yourself if you're a man. What are you talking about? Although I've only gotten a massage once because I am cheap. I just think it's a very expensive.
Hey, they are expensive. Yeah, they are expensive.
But it'll be J.J. Watt with Jim Nance, and I would imagine they will be on the call for Texans Bills in Week 1. That's pretty exciting.
Wow. Is there any chance that CBS uses this as an excuse to get out of that contract?
I would. That contract,
because it's coming towards the end, I believe.
Or
I think 2020 is when he signed it, the 10-year deal. So we're about halfway through that. Do you think they might be regretting it?
Wouldn't you?
Was it $180 million?
Wouldn't you regret it?
But see, here's the thing. I'm a Tony Romo guy. So
10 years, $180 million. $180 million. Indefinite leave.
Yeah.
If I was signing any broadcaster, any analyst of that kind of money, I am looking for every way to get at it. It was a insane deal that they gave him, and credit to him.
He got it.
But he might be losing a lot of it down the road. Look, even unless you're Charles Barkley, every broadcaster is replaceable, sadly. And that's just an outrageous amount of money for all of these soulless corporations these days. So if you ever get an excuse to pull your way out of it or to renegotiate, I mean, this is a perfect opportunity, the OWI, for Tony Romo leaving a golf course.
I'm right there with you. I think this may be that excuse to say, all right, let's go ahead and maybe let's pull the plug on this whole 10-year, $180 million.
I'm cool with it. He's no Tom Brady.
I think this might be it. He's no Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's already better than him as an analyst.
Think
Incredible.
So?
Well, many people are saying that.
Yeah, people are saying that.
Tom Brady, I mean, always the greatest at everything he does. He's going to be the greatest wrestler in history. WrestleMania, when he beats up on Jake Paul.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I wasn't even into wrestling, and then
you know what? That's
found out he's going to do it.
That's probably going to happen too.
Yeah, well, definitely.
There's still. WrestleMania is not till next April, so there's still a lot of time. But it's probably going to happen.
He needs to work on his acting.
Which one?
Tom Brady. His acting. Oof.
Well,
he needs.
He'll probably tackle it like he tackles everything else.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, everybody, Chris Partee, Paul Gallant, Bryson Scruggs behind the glass. 713-572-4610 to call to text. Astros are back in first place. Mm-hmm. They're back above 500.
Oh, yeah.
And on the other side, Chris Partee is about to call me, Paul Gallant, out. What about? You'll find out. Look, me rhyming accidentally. I'm dealing with gout.
You've been rhyming all show, man.
Sports Radio 610 Weekend. Stay there.
Reset your presets.
Initialize sequence.
Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land Studios. KILT FM HD2 Houston. On Odyssey Sports Station. The Texans play here. Live from the West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land Studios. It's Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Line to left, base hit for Jeremy Pena. And this will bounce all the way to the wall. This could be the knockout blow. 2 runs come home. Largest lead of the night for the Astros.
It was 9-2 then. It became 11-2. A little bit later, Jeremy Pena, Jim Crane, you should give a second thought to the thing about giving guys contracts that are never longer than 6 years. Today. Anyway, he is Chris Partee. I am Paul Gallant. Astros back in first place and back above 500 after beating the bejesus out of the Texas Rangers last night, 11-2. I'm excited to go to Dyken Park later this afternoon. A full sports day, a little Texans training camp in the morning, radio with Chris in the afternoon, and then baseball and El Tiempo frozen margarita to wash it all down.
This is a sports day from start to finish for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what time did you get out to camp this morning? Like
I
8?
got out there at 9 on the dot.
Okay, 9 o'clock. So you started at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You're going all the way to probably around 11 p.m. tonight.
I'll be going longer because the game's going to end about 9:30, and it's White Linen Night in the Heights. You know about this?
What is that?
So every single August, there is a day where the Heights turn into essentially a block party.
Okay.
It's a bit of a zoo traffic-wise, but everyone's walking around and they're wearing all white.
Won't be driving through there today. I know how that sounded.
It does. It does sound. No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
And that's not even how I meant it as the black guy on the show. That ain't even how I meant it, but I know how that sounded, and that was very good timing.
It was. Well done, Chris.
Give me that. That was very good timing.
It was fantastic. That's hilarious. But it's not like that, so it's gonna be a long day for me. Chris?
Yes.
Before the show.
Oh, yeah.
You might have to call me out.
I'm calling you out now, Paul.
Hit me, baby.
Paulie G. All right, let's do this. So, now, we all know today if the Astros beat the Rangers again today, second game in a row, that will be the second 5-game winning streak for the Astros in less than I think about 12 or 13 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right you are, Chris.
One game in the middle there, they've won 10 out of the last 11. They will have won 10 out of the last 11 if they win tonight. Last Saturday, on these very same airwaves, Paul and I were on, and I asked him, okay, and this was, I think they were at 4 games at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They won later that day, and it made it 5, right? I believe it was. Something like that. I asked Paul, all right, now, he wasn't really moved by the 4 or 5 game win streak. I said, what about 10? I said, Paul, what is 10 games? What would a 10-game win streak do for you? And your answer was, meh. That was his answer. Not even a 10-game win streak would do something for Mr. Gallant over here, my esteemed co-host. So now, Paul, I got to ask you, we're a week later, and now we're actually at a second 5-game win streak. They've won 10 out of 11. Paulie G, talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
So,
how you feeling?
Well, I'm just completely full of doo-doo. Right now, we're on camera. You can watch us.
You can see him right
the
now.
Sports Radio 6 and YouTube channel. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Way of the Samurai, but Chris, when the samurai lost in battle, you know what they did?
What's that?
They did a little thing called seppuku, which is that.
Ooh.
You know, they took themselves out.
Oh, wow.
They couldn't deal with the shame of losing. So here you go. I have a baseball bat right now, and
we've just experienced Paul Gallant take himself out of the game. Literally, take himself out.
I'm full of it
because of his bad take. Nah, I won't even call it a bad take. It was just a meh take. last week.
But here's the thing with me in baseball. This is why I could never run a team. And I'm 100% the kind of guy who experiences the baseball season the same way that football fans experience the football season, because I am a football guy.
Yeah.
Baseball, your sport confuses me. I don't understand it. But I am so back. I am so back.
He's back on the bandwagon.
I am so back. In fact, to go a little further, if the Astros pull off a sweep, whether I am back on the air next Saturday or it's just for my live stream, I will be doing it in a cockroach suit that I will be ordering on Amazon. Because they've been called cockroaches, the Astros, by Ken Rosenthal. And I'm just going to own it, baby.
Just own it.
I'm just going to own it. I'm going to own it in a that I feel like all Astros fans should. Whenever you get slighted by something, lean into it. The Astros fans who get mad about the cheating accusations, lean into it. Say, yeah, we got away with it. What are you going to do about it?
And you did get away with it.
You did get away with it.
You got away with it.
It's hilarious. They
just own it.
Nothing happened. They just moved on from their manager. They bring in Dusty Baker. They're still in a World Series. They move on from they could still use Jeff Luhnow, let's be frank. But look, last night was awesome, and I am completely walking back what I said. I said this on my podcast too. Like, listen, it doesn't take much for me to get back on the bandwagon. I'm not a baseball fan, but I am when my local team is good at baseball, bandwagoner, 100%.
You're all in.
I've seen a bunch of these like brain rot graphics, Chris, on Facebook the other day where it says, real Astros fans are with their team all the way. No, I'm not. If they're not playing awesome,
you're admitting it.
I don't care.
You're
but if
just
they're
gonna admit it.
But right now, like the vibes could not be better. And I'm a pretty good cheerleader when it comes to the Astros. And that's what I am. I'm an Astros cheerleader. I'm not an objective journalist like I am with football. I'm an Astros cheerleader. I just want the good times to happen so I can have more El Tiempo margaritas for $300.
So, given what you just laid out there, I'm rooting even harder for the sweep.
Yeah.
Because I want to see you in that cockroach outfit.
I want to buy it. I actually do too. I'm going to buy it anyway, but I
save it for a later date possibly.
Yeah, but I want it. I want the cockroach suit.
Cockroach suit. All right.
The cockroaches. For those who don't know, this is Ken Rosenthal earlier in this week. Bryson, thank you so much for picking this up on the fly. This is Ken Rosenthal calling the Astros cockroaches.
The Astros are the cockroaches of baseball. They have won 5 of 6, and as Chandler Rome writes today in The Athletic, they're not going to sell. There have been all these stories about them selling early on Yordan Alvarez, and more recently, Josh Hader and Jeremy Pena. No, not happening, was never going to happen.
Did you feel like Ken Rosenthal said the word cockroach in an insulting way there? Do you feel like there was a little twinkle in his eye? Yeah, I get to call the Astros cockroaches, and no one's going to know it the wiser. They're not going to understand. Do you think that he did that being happy that he could shoot that little insult at them? Or do you think that he meant it as a compliment?
There was probably a little bit of malice there, but I think most Astros fans took it as a compliment, honestly.
You should take it as a compliment.
Because cockroaches,
they're gross.
They live through nuclear wars. Mm-hmm. They just keep coming back, and that's been the Astros this year. So take it as a compliment.
Listen, they are highly evolved machines. They have been here forever. You know,
they're so gross, but you just can't get rid of them.
And that's what the Astros are. And I like that they're gross to the rest of baseball. I don't want anyone to like us. I don't want anyone to like us. No,
you don't want to be liked.
No, ew. That means you're a loser team. I mean, let's just go through all these teams who for years, oh God, we feel bad for them. I grew up a Red Sox fan. Don't we all wish the Red Sox didn't win in 2004 with how insufferable they've been since they've won 4 World Series? And I don't really like the Red Sox anymore. I did growing up, but
you've disowned them.
Listen, I'm a little bit of a baseball hoe. I jumped on the bandwagon of the team, team in town, the Astros, when they got good. When I was in Seattle, they were paying me. So for 2 years, I was a Mariners fan, whatever. But when I look at this team right now, I'm all aboard. And I feel like you got to own the insults because that's the only way that you can get under people's skin because no one likes you. And the teams that everyone likes, they've been losers forever. Oh, the poor Cubs. Oh. Like, no, F them. It's hilarious that they keep losing. Mets fans are the most miserable people on the planet. Well, you have another team in town. Jump the ship. Like, I don't want my team to be liked, and I don't want other fan bases to have sympathy for me.
So you want to play the villain?
Yeah.
Paul wants to be the villain.
I want to be the bad guy. I want to be Tony Montana.
It's fun to be the bad guy, though, sometimes. Yeah. It can be really fun to be the bad guy and everyone else just gunning for you.
Who's the bad guy?
Really can.
I gotta have to watch Scarface again. But speaking of Scarface and speaking of cockroach, you know who says, no one says the word cockroach better than Al Pacino. Bryce, we got this drop ready to go. There's a drop that I sent. Okay, we don't have it ready to go.
Cockroach.
You're a bunch of cockroaches. Yes, that's what we are.
I do remember that.
We are a bunch of cockroaches for sure. Texter from 713-572-4610. That's how you call. That's how you text. The Astros scored 11 yesterday. So if they play like they usually do, they'll be shut out today and maybe tomorrow. And this texter has been henceforth blocked from the Pauly G and Party experience. How dare you try to crush our vibes?
Like, come on, really? Now they got. I get what they're saying, but come on, can we keep it positive? Let's just keep it positive for one day.
We've made this.
Please.
I've made this joke before, though, too. It's funny. Whenever the Astros score over 8 runs, the idea that they will score that many runs the next night, it's almost like they have jinxed themselves. They should just stop scoring runs at 8.
But they don't have to. They don't have to score 11 or 8 tonight. They can score 5 and win.
I'm curious as to Jacob deGrom's statistics this year are decent, but he's not the Jacob deGrom of old.
Yeah.
And I'm also very curious to see how Ronel Blanco will look as he gets more and more acclimated to being back on the hill after having Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
Because right now, you're looking at Ronel Blanco as somebody who has to be a really consistent starter for you. You take a look at this rotation going into the postseason. After Hunter Brown, I don't know who I'm looking at. Is it going to be Christian Javier, who's seemingly going to get back in the starting rotation now that Tatsuya Imai's out? Javier looked great earlier this week, but it was against the Angels, so how much stock do we put into that? Then you've got Ronel Blanco back. We've seen Ronel Blanco pitch well in the past, but it was, a year and a half and a different elbow ago. Hayden Wisniewski.
After Hunter Brown, there's when you feel that the highest level of confidence in that you can get consistent, 6 innings in the postseason.
Correct. Yeah.
There's just no one. So I get, but again, we still got 2 months left. So
a lot of time.
Something could change.
That's true.
Some things could change. There's a lot of baseball left.
Baseball's trade deadline is on Monday. Here's who the Astros have been linked to. And if you want to weigh in on the conversation, again, 713-572-4610 is how you call. They've been linked to the Rockies' Mickey Moniak and Jake McCarthy. This is from early July. Bob Nightingale of the USA Today. Moniak's having a strong season with power. McCarthy, a faster guy, on-base guy. Rockies stink. Probably sellers at the deadline. This is just a great name. Lars Nootbaar. Chandler Room of The Athletic reported Astros' interest in the lefty outfielder, who's also under control for next year. But the Astros would have to give up an astronomical price to go and get him. The Astros do not have a lot of capital to give up. There's Jarren Duran from the Boston Red Sox. I wouldn't touch Jarren Duran with a 10-foot pole. The guy's got some, I think, real question marks about his head. He is somebody who's constantly getting in fights with fans.
So decision-making.
He seems to be someone who can be very easily affected. Imagine you join the most hated team in baseball. How's that going to go for you?
He's an emotional guy.
Very emotional. Listen, as an emotional man, I get it. But, I mean, bro, I've seen a therapist.
Can't be fighting fans, man.
No.
Not continually.
That reminds me, I got to go back to therapy. Heliot Ramos also mentioned, a San Francisco Giant player. George Springer would be fun, but that was more just speculation and fun. And there's also a rumor that the Astros were looking to trade Brian Abreu to Trevor Lamacq Larnach on the Minnesota Twins. He's another lefty outfielder. They're supposedly interested in Sonny Gray. They're supposedly interested in Tarek Skubal. They're supposedly interested in Logan Webb and in righty bullpen help. So we'll see what the Astros do. But the vibes are high right now, and they're going to add, I would imagine, on Monday. I don't think they're going to stand pat. I'm just curious as to how much Chris better they can get.
I mean, obviously, I'm thinking the name, out of all those names you just mentioned, all those potential deals you just mentioned, Skubal is the one that most people are rooting for to happen. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't think everybody pretty much knows that.
He's going to be at the Dodgers.
Will it happen? I don't see it. Now, if it happens, great. I just don't see that deal happening. I mean, what and who are they going to send?
Yeah, they don't have it.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
As I said last weekend with you, like Dana Brown needs to go to Detroit with a gun. That's the only way they're getting Tarek Skubal. And I don't, Dana, don't do that.
We're not advocating violence at all.
Not advocating violence, but you got to be the bad guy.
But understand.
Be the bad guy.
I do understand.
Texter from the 832 says, hey, knuckleheads, look harder at the starting pitchers. There's one that has been good all year. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. It's Peter Lambert.
Lambert, yeah.
But I just don't buy it. I think by the end of the year, he'll get figured out. Sorry, Peter.
But I guess if he's gone this long, on the run that he's been on,
which we've seen from Ronald Blanco, but
should we not be bought in by now to say that, okay, he can continue this through the rest of the season? But again, I get what you're saying about the post. We were talking about the postseason.
Yeah.
The postseason.
Yeah.
Do we know that we can get that same performance?
He's been reliable, but we've seen JP France be reliable for a while. And then, he's on the outs in the minor leagues now. With Ronald Blanco, I hope he can get back to the guy that surprised all of us with the year that he was having. But I don't know that that's going to happen either. And
it would have to happen really fast.
There was even a little pumpkin element to that one too. Like, is this really happening? The guy in his late 20s is all of a sudden pitching the best he's ever pitched.
And is there going to be enough time for Blanco to make that adjustment and get back to that?
Yeah, it's got to be tough coming back from a serious injury like that. Figuring out your elbow. So, look, they need one other ace caliber arm or number two, true number two. Yeah. They don't have that right now. But Lambert deserves a lot of credit. I'm sorry for doubting him.
To this point, yes.
He has answered the call and more. He is Chris Partee. I am Paul Gallant. 713-572-4610. That's how you call. That's how you can also join us on YouTube at I don't know why at Sports Radio. I think actually check that. It's at 95.7 The Game.
Has it been changed
the fan
already?
now.
Okay,
yes, at 95.7 The Fan. I forgot the handles have been changed. All the social media handles have changed. In case you didn't know, by the way, August 13th, we are moving over to 95.7 and rebranding as 95.7 The Fan. I really love the logo that we have. Coming up next, if you want to weigh in on Texans training camp, you can. Is it possible that an old friend who once roasted my mother could be coming back to the Houston Texans? We'll talk about it on the other side. Chris Partee and Paul Gallant, Sports Radio 610 Weekend. Stay put.
Coach D'Amico shared Live from the West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land studios, it's Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
There was a sequence where you and Deshaun basically...
Was that the voice of Paul Gallant from a long time ago?
Oh, God. Another one driven to the Crawford boxes. Christian Walker makes it back-to-back jacks. And it's 6-0 Houston.
Isaac Paredes and Christian Walker went back-to-back as part of an awesome night for the Astros at the plate. 18 hits in an 11-2 victory over the Texas Rangers to put them above 500 for the first time in a while and to put them in first place in the American League West. They're a half game up on the Texas Rangers, who they play tonight at Daikin Park with Ronel Blanco on the hill against Jacob deGrom. Can't wait to go to the game. I'll be out there, take a gander and look for the whitest sports radio host you know. I did not get very tan today at Texans training camp. I'll be there, though, and I'll probably be walking around with an El Tiempo margarita.
Now, will you be rocking one of your signature Hawaiian shirts?
No, I will be wearing, well, it's White Linen Night. I'm going out.
That's right.
Going out to White Linen Night afterwards. So
you got a full night planned.
I will be in all, because the girlfriend's hanging out with her girlfriends who are all younger than me, and I imagine they're going to want to stay out late. Oh, Lord. So this is a marathon day for a 37-year-old man. Does Paul still have it?
Good luck, sir.
I hope I still have it. I hope I do not yawn at any point today.
Good luck.
It's gonna be a long day, but it's gonna be a very fun day. I'll be wearing my white. And the Astros never wore these uniforms. But remember when the Astros had those uniforms in the late 90s? They moved to that blue and gold look. So I have a white throwback Justin Verlander jersey that I'll be wearing with outrageously short shorts.
Oh, my goodness. Outrageously short.
Gotta show off the quads.
Hey, I guess if you've been working on them, show them off.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be out. Keep an eye out. If you see me, say hi.
Holla at your mans over there.
Please do.
Holla at him.
So, interesting story as the Houston Texans get closer and closer to the start of the regular season. Training camp day 4 was earlier today. Surprise, defense looked a lot better than the offense. The defense might be looking to add. There is a player that I always thought played well with the Texans, but maybe didn't play the way that the coaching staff in place wanted him to.
Yeah.
I've always liked Jadeveon Clowney as a player. And per Aaron Wilson of Channel 2, it looks like there's some mutual interest between Jadeveon Clowney and the Houston Texans, the 2014 first overall pick.
Yeah, I mean...
Played with the Cowboys last year. What do you think about that, Chris?
I guess at this point, kick the tires.
You don't sound very excited about it.
You try because you know what I'm thinking of, and you can probably guess what I'm thinking of when it comes to Jadeveon Clowney. That hit that put him on the map when he was in college. I forget who, because
the Michigan guy.
Yeah,
he killed him.
Where he just blew him up. I mean,
right.
That hit really put him on the map.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he wasn't a very good college player, but that put him on the map. And I think since then, drafted number 1. Goes through. He hasn't lived up to that number 1 billing.
Correct.
He has not. It's unfortunate. He's played well at times. Don't get me wrong. He's had his ups and downs. He's played well at times, but overall, he hadn't lived up to that billing. And how old is Jadeveon Clowney?
Jadeveon Clowney is February 14th of 1993. Doing a little math.
Okay.
33 years old.
33. Okay. Now, I do think if you bring him in and he can come in and be a depth piece, obviously, that's a big thing. That's huge. That'll be huge.
Exactly.
That'll be huge.
A guy like him off the bench with the versatility that he brings to the table.
You can move him around a little bit.
Yeah. Is exciting. Look, he played 13 games last year. He had 8.5 sacks with the Cowboys.
That ain't bad.
Especially
because that defense needed those sacks.
They did,
because they were not good.
The thing that stinks for Clowney is that he was drafted first, and that he has never had a 10-sack season. He had 9.5 sacks in 2017.
I thought he'd been close. Yeah,
he had 9 sacks in 2018. Both of those years with the Texans. He had 9 sacks with the Browns in 2021. He had 9.5 sacks with the Ravens in 2023. If you have played 153 games over the course of your career, though, the idea that Clowney's a bust, it's laughable. This is a guy that did not become the kind of pass rusher you were hoping him to be, but I always felt that because of his size and his power and just the way that he gets off the ball, the violence with which he explodes out of the three-point stance that he's in, I've always thought he's one of the better run defenders in the league. And I thought that with the Texans, that was a role that he turned into. And he just did not, in the eyes of Bill O'Brien, I think do all of the work ethic things that O'Brien wanted out of his players, which was interesting because there were certain players like DeAndre Hopkins and Jadeveon Clowney. There were different rules for them than there were for the rest of the team.
Well, I mean, isn't that most teams? Every team?
It is.
Your star. I mean,
it's not supposed to be that way in the Patriot way.
I mean, Jimmy Johnson said this decades ago, talking about star players. You know, if Troy Aikman falls asleep in a meeting, his reaction is going to be different than the 53rd guy on the roster.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not I'm not saying Jadeveon was the 53rd guy. I'm just saying though, it's different when you're a proven star.
Correct.
Up there as opposed to a guy that's just coming in. You're the number 1 pick, but you haven't really shown it yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be different. It's going to be it just is what it is, man. It just you can call it what it is, but when you produce like that, it's just different.
It's very funny that the Texans have had 2 number 1 overall picks in their history who were defensive ends, and both of those guys, both Mario Williams, who they drafted first overall in 2006, instead of Vince Young.
Forgot about Mario Williams.
And instead of Reggie Bush, they drafted him. But over the course of his career, Mario Williams had almost 100 sacks in 158 games played. He even had 14.5 sacks in his third to last season in the league in 2014 with the Buffalo Bills. And he had a couple of 10-plus sack seasons with the Texans. He was definitely a better Texan than Jadeveon Clowney was. Yeah. But you hold them to a different standard because they were drafted first overall. And it is interesting. Yeah. Both of these guys have had very successful careers.
They've had solid careers, yes.
I think it's more than solid.
You think more than solid, okay.
Look, it's a toss-up if you're a first-round pick. I think we assume that if you're drafted in the first round, you have to be good. But sometimes these guys just flame out. And I don't really hold it against players the way that a lot of people who cover this league do. To me, it's, hey, you got drafted here. You can't control where you were drafted.
No.
You might work out, you might not work out. But if you play in this league for 5 years, if you are a starter for the entirety of your rookie contract as a first-round pick, that is by definition a success. Yeah. I understand that you're looking for a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro out of there, but the odds are very much against it. It's generally a 50-50 position. The rookie is going to be like a 4-year, 5-year player.
Yeah, but it feels like we're kind of lumping all first-round picks together here.
That's fair.
When we know if you're the number 1 overall pick, there's a certain expectation of you.
Yeah, that's fair.
The number 1 overall pick. I don't care what the position is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's a certain expectation of a number 1 overall pick to, by year 5, to at least have come away with, okay, maybe not all-pro. I get all-pro. That's a whole different thing. But at least a Pro Bowl appearance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to have 15 sacks one or 2 years. I'm not saying you got to have a start, like some of these outside rushers that go with 10, 12 sacks the first 3-4 years of their career. You ain't got to do that. But a Pro Bowl, maybe 2 Pro Bowls as the number 1 overall pick, I think it's just different. Because when you lump it all together, you're saying number 1 is equal to number 32.
Yeah,
and fair. We know it's not the same.
No, that's not the same.
We know that's not.
You're right
the
on
same.
that. You're right on that.
There's a big difference. I look at it as more, if you're a top 10 pick, I think there's especially a top 5 pick. There's just a different category that you're placed in.
You're expected to be an All-Pro.
At some point.
Right.
At some point.
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
It's just kind of the expectation. If not that, give us 2-3 Pro Bowls in the first few years. And Pro Bowls have even, that whole moniker has taken a dip.
Obviously with the quarterback side of things.
Yeah, it's taken a dip.
Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah, man. That's just, I know. I understand. And a lot of people won't like hearing, but he's not a Pro Bowler.
No.
Let's just be honest.
God,
he's not
the Shedeur Sanders fans are such losers.
He was not a Pro Bowler.
They're such losers. I like Shedeur Sanders. I hope he succeeds.
But
I hate his fans.
I'm just being honest. I like him too, and I want him to play well, and I want him to be a starter.
But I want his fans to shut up. I want his fans to go get their shine box. You're the worst. But anyway, bringing it back to Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah. One of the reasons I'm very excited about the idea of Jadeveon Clowney here is because Jadeveon Clowney,
I got to hear this story,
has roasted my mom before.
I got to hear this story, man.
So, for those who don't remember, there was a game between the Texans and Eagles towards the end of the 2018 season. And in that game, Jadeveon Clowney absolutely beat the bejesus out of Nick Foles, Philadelphia Eagles legend. My mom's from Philadelphia. So, half of my family is a bunch of Philadelphia Eagles fans. And after this game, my mom was pointing out how mean Jadeveon Clowney was. So
how mean he was.
Right. So there was actually a game where Jadeveon Clowney, who went to the Seahawks at the same time that I went to Seattle.
Oh wow!
It's actually I was doing a live radio show, and me talking about the Seahawks perspective of it is one of the reasons that I got hired in Seattle. Just doing it on the spot while doing a national radio show. Somebody that was hiring texted me, "What do you think about the Seahawks side of it?" And I just riffed for 5 minutes. I was up in Seattle for a couple of years. It's a shame the pandemic happened, but I'm glad I'm back here in town. And in this game between the Seahawks and the Eagles, Jadeveon Clowney once again hit, I think it was Carson Wentz, in a kind of dirty manner. So Philadelphia just hates Jadeveon Clowney, and my mom really hated Jadeveon Clowney. So I called her once on my radio show in Seattle, and I asked her about Jadeveon Clowney. Here's how that sounded.
Sorry to see your guys home today. How you doing, Kitson? It's your boy JD Clowney here. I just come to say, bye Eagles, bye. Not fly Eagles, fly. No, I'm joking.
Kitsy was a little worried or upset at last year's hit on Nick Foles.
Oh, she gonna hate me this year probably. I'm sorry, Kitsy, but I'm just playing the game. I had no intentions to hurt him.
Any parting words for Kitsy?
Any parting words? Have fun in the offseason, Kitsy. I'll see you second round.
I loved it. So I did a call with my mom, and Danny, who was my co-host in Seattle at the time, he showed that to Jadeveon. Well, a enraged Sal Palantonio from ESPN, who was definitely an Eagles fan, was watching this take place, and Clowney said, "Bye, Eagles, bye," which was really funny.
I love that.
And I love that he roasted my mom. I think it's great, because Eagles fans need to be put in their place. Yes. They need to be put in their place.
They're a different breed.
They really are.
They are a different breed.
And it's funny, my mom's like, "Oh, he's so mean." It's like, "Mom, you're Philadelphia. Come on."
You're part
Philadelphian,
really? Yeah,
you know? Like, come on, listen, I love you, but you're from Philly.
I've been in Philly fans' crosshair before in the past. And
fun.
They are,
Yeah, they're a lot. They're a lot. They're a lot. I remember Patriots beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I'm growing up. I'm in high school. I don't hear a lick from them. Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Yeah? I heard from every single relative that I hadn't heard from in years talking trash. And I was like, they've been in so many Super Bowls, I forgot which one this was.
That's the time to do it, when you win.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited about the idea of Jadeveon Clowney being back.
All right.
Especially since he roasted my mom that one time. Eagle Bye. My mom's nickname is Kitsy, and I thought it was very funny that he was calling her by her name as well. Shout out to my old co-host Danny, who I love like a brother, who asked him that question. That was very fun for our show. 713-572-4610. That's how you call in. That's how you text in. You can join us on YouTube as well in the comments section on Sports Radio 610, soon to be 95.7 The Fan. I'm starting to lose count of the amount of NFL pundits who think the Houston Texans are AFC favorites. We played a couple of clips from them last week. We got more. And I actually put together a list. With this list in mind, what does that mean for the expectations for this season? Define success, define failure. 713-572-4610. He's Chris. I'm Paul. It's Sports Radio 610 Weekend. Stay put.
How is CJ Stroud?
50th.
Live from the West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land studios, it's Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Hall of Fame speech.
Oh, look out. Yainer Diaz. Another one deep to left. Nearly on the train tracks. Lift in the late innings for the Astros. Their third homer of the night. And the lead is 5.
It stinks having these games on Apple TV. Paul Gallant, Chris Partee, Sports Radio 610 Weekends. Well, Chris, I like to have the local guys on the call. And while every now and then, Jeff Blum, who I consider a acquaintance. I don't know if he considers me a friend, but I like Jeff Blum. We've chatted a few times. Sometimes his nicknames and his, I guess, catchphrases after home runs are a little corny, but right there, in the midst of a beatdown of the Rangers, I want a Yainer bomb.
You want all of it.
I want him to drop his Yainer bomb on the tail end of that. These Apple TV people, I mean, where's the energy? Where's the emotion? And this is one of the things about just a baseball broadcast. The 162 games with your dude calling the game, your people, it becomes a hangout when it's the same guys every single night.
Yeah.
And is anyone perfect? No, but you like the local broadcast. I missed the local broadcast last night. One, I missed it because I did not get to hear extra jubilance out of the Astros as they're socking the Rangers. And two,
they socked them all right.
Ex-Astros broadcaster, now Rangers broadcaster, Dave Raymond, which is able to get games of since I guess Dallas is slightly far away enough where you can, if you have a streaming platform, you can actually watch Rangers games as well. It's really funny to hear how annoyed Dave Raymond gets when the Astros are beating the Rangers' ass. And I don't get either of those last night because we have this Apple TV broadcast on. Nothing against those guys. I just want the local broadcasts all regular season long, and I want them into the playoffs too, Chris.
Last night would have been the night to hear the opposite team's broadcast.
Oh, God.
And to hear him
just porn.
To hear him just get totally irritated. I mean, because that was a beatdown. Last night was a beatdown. I mean, there's enough clips from last night's game for us to come back in from pretty much every segment with something.
Yep.
With something.
And instead we have that lame-ass Apple TV, no energy description of Yainer Diaz hitting a home run.
I mean, hey, they got the win.
They got the win.
Be happy about that.
They're
be happy. Let's keep it positive.
First place in the AL West. They're above 500 for the first time in a really long time. 18 hits last night. Hopefully they keep the offense up. 713-572-4610. You want to weigh in on the Astros? Ocho Texto texted in. Paul, I don't want the Astros to make any trades. I want them to try to win with this bunch. No. I need more. I need another arm. I need another starting arm. But the vibes are immaculate right now, and I have entirely flip-flopped from where I was last Saturday with Chris, where I was like,
yes,
maybe you got to sell.
You have flip-flopped.
Maybe you got to sell, even if they win 10 games in a row.
And shout out to Ocho. I think I get where Ocho's coming from. You don't have to give up anybody from this group that they've got right now, as far as the major players, the guys carrying the heavy weight, to go out and get a big arm. You know what I mean? Or I guess let's just say a big name arm like a screwball, right? You don't necessarily want to have to do that. So I kind of get where Ocho's coming from, if that's what Ocho was talking about. And I'm sure if he's not, he'll let us know.
713-572-4610. We're also on YouTube. He is Chris Partee. I'm Paul Gallant. Sports Radio 610 Weekends. Bryson Scruggs behind the glass. It's been amazing seeing Chris, especially with the way the Texans season ended last year. It's been amazing seeing the amount of people that are putting the Houston Texans on a pedestal. They are saying this is the AFC favorite. The most recent person to seemingly jump on the Texans bandwagon is Dan Orlovsky. Now, there's an important caveat here, but if they get this caveat, this is the number one team in the AFC per Dan Orlovsky of ESPN.
If you told me Houston got good quarterback play, they would be my pick out of the AFC to go to the Super Bowl. But there's a big question mark of kind of like how CJ plays and really performs in his fourth year. So those are probably my biggest storylines, I'd say. Caleb, another year under Ben.
Yeah, the AFC South is obviously the toughest division in ball. We understand that. Texas. You said Houston, Texas was about to win the AFC. So where do they play, Dan? The AFC South. Thanks. So if the best team in the conference is in a division, that would be the best division, clearly. So I don't like to hear that because the Colts need to win.
Pat McAfee having a little bit of fun at the end of it. Dan Orlovsky keeping ending of it. The AFC South has a little more of a pulse in the basement now, with the Tennessee Titans potentially being better than they were last year. We'll see.
Potential.
It's certainly not a cakewalk anymore like it has been in years past. But to bring it back, Chris, to what Dan said, Dan joins the following as people who are on the Houston Texans bandwagon. Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated, another Syracuse guy, I like him as a writer, calls them his explicit Super Bowl pick and the team to beat in the AFC. Aaron Schatz, the guy who is the DVOA guy, says the Texans are the clear AFC favorites and the best team in the conference, the favorite to reach the Super Bowl. Ben Solak of ESPN predicted they'll win the AFC, and Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, a reporter, says they can win the Super Bowl if they run the ball. Nate Tice can see them as AFC champions. Robert Mays, who was out at Texans training camp earlier today, hosted a segment called Why the Texans Are a Legitimate Super Bowl Threat. Adam Shine from the New York Post, also a Syracuse guy, favors them for the AFC South, says their upside is the Super Bowl. Albert Breer says they're a Super Bowl level team if the offense clicks. That's a big if. Evan Washburn of CBS Sports says that the Texans have everything necessary to not just get to a Super Bowl, but to win one. Lots of people on the preseason bandwagon.
Jumping on, man. They jumping on. Let me first address Dan Orlovsky. Dan, you're not telling us anything that we don't already know. If they get the quarterback play, okay, yeah, big revelation there. If they get the quarterback play, they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. Like, just stop it. He didn't say anything that we haven't been saying here for how many years? 2 years at least? Come on.
That's fair.
So I'm going to move Dan Orlovsky out of the way. I asked you this during the break. Does it feel like these national guys are almost setting the Texans up for failure with all this? Suddenly, everyone's on the bandwagon. Everybody, it sounds like, is on the bandwagon of the Texans as the favorite in the A. I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying we didn't hear this, definitely not last year, even a few months ago. We weren't really here. Everyone is on the bandwagon now. It would seem on even the national level, as you just played all these the clips there and ran down the names of all these different analysts here. They're all on the bandwagon now, and it just feels like that expectation, man. It's obviously rising when you get to that national level, where everyone seems to be on your bandwagon.
It's something that always makes you look at yourself in the mirror a little bit more closely when everybody on the outside notices something that maybe you are too close to see. Yeah. And I think it's fair to characterize a lot of Sports Radio 610, soon to be 95.7 The Fan, as skeptical about this operation largely because of C.J. Stroud. Everything around it, you feel pretty good about it. You got some questions about the offense for sure with Nick Caley and the moving pieces on the offensive line and all that. But I wonder if you listening in your car right now or maybe out back mowing the lawn, if you hear all these people on the outside who are believing and you're starting to believe because the Texans logo's a bull. Get it?
Oh, we got that. They got that.
Okay, I'm just trying to be a little corny.
They got it.
Just putting a little schmaltz
that didn't
on
go
top
over
of
their
all
head.
of it.
It didn't go over their heads.
I wonder about that. It's not doing anything for me. And
all the talk?
No, it's not. It's not. Because to what you said a moment ago, we already know this.
Yeah.
What's kind of annoying is having these people on the outside say, well, if you guys do this, yeah, we know. Sorry, I yelled so loud. We know.
We've been talking about it.
We know.
For a long time.
We know. Don't remind us.
We've been talking about it a very long time, it feels like.
It's, I don't have a kid. I suppose, though, this is somebody coming up to you and talking about your kid like a teacher and say, like, man, if he just gets his act together.
He just applied himself.
If he just applied himself. And you're thinking to yourself, I just rewatched The Sopranos. You're Tony and Carmela Soprano, and you're talking about AJ, who just sucks. Like, just top to bottom. They're like, well, if he really gets it together, I mean, yes, no wonder. Yes, we all know that. If he gets it together, great. Hey. If he gets it together, awesome.
That was my mom saying that. Well, if Chris just gets it together, yeah, you don't think I know that? Yeah. I was that kid. So I get it. I understand that. That's a perfect comparison right there.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy right there.
We know.
We get it.
We don't think it's going to happen. We're a little more realistic than you guys.
Yeah. I think it's a big ask. I think it's a big ask to ask, it's a big ask right now. I got to see it first, man.
Maybe I'm too glass half empty, though. At some point, like, I want to bring somebody on my podcast on the side to try to get me gassed up the way I am for the Astros.
Gassed up.
Because, it's crazy. I just completely flip-flopped on where I'm at with the Astros over a period of a week. I went from being like, 5-game wins for a guy won't even care unless you get a starting pitcher. Now, all of a sudden, this week's awesome. And all they did was beat the Angels.
And beat the Rangers once so far.
And I'm like, oh, my God.
He's all in.
Yeah.
Paul is all in now, man.
I am all in, though. I am, and you should be all in, too.
Hey, I'm not saying that I'm not. I think it's I thought 10 games in a row would be a huge feat. You didn't feel that way last week. I thought that. I think 10 out of 11 is great. Now, I don't, obviously, I don't feel the same way, saying that last night was the peak. I think if last night was the peak, then they're in for a big disappointment down the stretch.
That brings us back to the question of today's show, 713-572-4610. Paul Gallant and Chris Partee, Sports Radio 610 weekends on the soon-to-be 95.7 The Fan, August 13th. So preset your radio dial. Was last night the high water mark for this Astros season? Because the vibes could not possibly get any better than they were last night, right? Let's go through all of it. Tell me if you think it can get better, because it's a very bar clear after what happened last night. He's Chris Partee. I'm Paul Gallant. Stick around, Sports Radio 610 weekends.
What kind of impact does West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land Studios. KILT FM HD2 Houston. On Odyssey Sports Station. The Texans play here. Live from the West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land Studios. It's Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Alvarez up the middle, base hits. One run is in. Here comes a second. The throw cut off. A two-run single for Alvarez, who comes through yet again.
Paul Gallant and Chris Partee with you. Sports Radio 610 Weekends. Walk the man. The bases are loaded. Walk the man. Yes, you might give up a run walking Yordan Alvarez with the bases loaded. That's what happens when you pitch to him.
You give up 4 runs.
Mm-hmm. Or 2 runs. Or 3 runs.
Whatever.
He's going to do more to you when you pitch to him than he's going to do to you when you walk him.
When you don't pitch to him.
It's time that he gets the Barry Bonds treatment because he is having a Barry Bonds caliber season.
I mean, I think everyone is pretty much sold on Yordan as this year's, American League MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they win the division, make the playoffs, even if it's just a wild card. I think if they make the postseason, you got to give him the MVP.
Yeah.
If he continues this pace that he's been on all season, if he continues that, yeah, you got to give it to him.
Especially with all the things that the Astros have overcome to get back in first place the way that they did last night with that 11-2 win over the Texas Rangers.
He's been the one constant.
The one constant the whole way through. Jeremy Pena's missed almost half the year. Hunter Brown's missed time. Josh Hader's missed time. Christian Javier's missed time. Ronel Blanco is finally coming back. Hayden Wisniewski is finally coming back. Lance McCullers, you moved on.
Yeah.
Mike Burrows, you moved on. Tatsuya Imai, you moved on, and you spent a lot of money considering you're moving on from him.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve's not Jose Altuve. Jake Myers is in AAA. You were hoping for more from him, that's for damn sure. And yet they're a game above 500 and in first place, and they have been the best team in the American League for quite a bit of time. By the numbers,
yeah,
I think the record is now, 36-20 since being 11 games under 500.
Wow. They've turned it around. And the leader of that, leading that charge has been Yordan Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there pretty much the entire time leading that charge.
Yeah.
MVP.
He should be the MVP.
MVP.
And by the way, my math was totally incorrect there, so just disregard that. We're sports radio hosts. We don't know how to do math on the fly, okay?
But we try.
I'm curious as to if this will be the high point of the Astros season, not to be the rain cloud of doom and gloom that I normally am. I am feeling the Astros vibes right now. I am so in.
Back on the bandwagon, baby.
I have never been more in. I just want to know, though, if it gets any better than this, because last night you beat your arch rival 11-2. You're now 155 against the Texas Rangers since the start of 2017.
That's crazy.
You've won 9 of 10. You had an incredible night at the plate last night. And for God's sakes, Carlos Correa is doing light workouts on the field before the game.
Who expected that?
Not me. That's for sure. I mean, the Astros, the return to play procedures have always been sus.
Questionable at best.
At best. And I mean, yeah, sure, they moved on from Jeremiah Randall, their head trainer last year, but I mean, it's still a lot of the same, I would imagine, in there.
Not much has changed, it doesn't seem, from the outside looking in.
But also this week, Jeremy Pena, L Player of the Week.
Okay.
Yordan Alvarez had the coolest sounding home run that we've heard in quite some time against the Angels on Tuesday. They're down 4-2 in the ninth against the Angels, and while it might have been a little divine intervention against the Angels in that game, a bunch of satanists out there, a bunch of demons working magic. They have that comeback. Yainer Diaz is even playing well. He's 4 for 5 with home runs the last 2 games. The second 5-game winning streak, in, as you pointed out, in about 2 weeks if they win tonight.
Yeah.
Realistically, how does it get better than this? and obviously, you make the playoffs, you win the division, you go on a run in the playoffs. It can get higher than this, but I'm like, they've set a higher for themselves.
It's simple. Just keep this going. It gets better if you keep this going.
So simple.
What they've got going on right now.
So simple.
10 out of 11, 2 5-game win streaks in less than 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Keep this all going. That's how it gets better. That's how it gets better. You just keep this going.
It's so simple. I'm saying it sarcastically, by the way.
I know you are.
Because I just have questions.
I see that twinkle in your eye there.
About the starting rotation. But the twinkle in my eye wants to just say, you know what? Give me my El Tiempo margarita at the ballpark for $500 and just enjoy the train.
Just let it go.
Let the night take me where it takes me.
That night train.
Margarita, take me away. But not too far away. I want to watch the whole game. I'm excited for tonight's game, man.
You should be.
I'm excited. And as I said a little bit earlier in the show, I did flip-flop on a take. Chris correctly called me out on it. But to make up for it, to make amends, if the Astros...
Yeah, what are you going to do?
If the Astros pull off a sweep of the Texas Rangers this weekend, as someone who has the fever, I'm going to, in my next show, whether it's here or it's on the Guantes Bagues, I will be dressed up. Make sure you're watching on YouTube here on Sports Radio 610. Subscribe, like the video. I will be dressed up in a cockroach costume. I just bought it. I just bought it on Amazon. It'll be ready to go.
He did. He showed me.
Give me my sweep.
He bought it. Now, I hope that show is here, and I hope I'm in studio with you.
I do too.
Because I would love to be here for that moment when you walk in the building with the cockroach outfit on, or costume, I should say.
Yeah.
I'll be here for that.
I've got cockroach fever.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but you do.
I mean, well, after what Ken Rosenthal called the Astros earlier in the week, I think it's time for us to own it.
Take a shot.
Last year, the story of the Astros season was God wills it. None of this makes any sense. Seems like there's divine intervention. How are they 20 games above 500 with all the injuries they were dealing with last year? This year, it's cockroaches. This is Ken Rosenthal talking about the Astros earlier this week.
The Astros are the cockroaches of baseball. They have won 5 of 6, and as Chandler Rome writes today in The Athletic, they're not going to sell. There have been all these stories about them selling early on Yordan Alvarez, and more recently, Josh Hader and Jeremy Pena. No, not happening, was never going to happen.
Look, man, cockroaches. That's what they are. You might get mad at Ken Rosenthal sounding gleeful to get away with calling the Astros cockroach because it is an apt comparison.
Hearing it a second time, he did sound a little happy, a little gleeful. There was some joy in there.
Ken, you got to know the facts, to quote Carlos Correa. This is America, Ken. And in America, cockroaches are everywhere. And cockroaches are...
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
Cockroach.
There he is. That's Tony Montana, cockroach. Listen, I'm gonna abuse that drop over the next couple of weeks. This is what they are. They're an unkillable entity that everybody hates. And that's fantastic. The window is always open. Some is open end. And I am riding the vibes so high right now.
You got to ride the wave, man.
This is fantastic.
Just ride the wave.
Yeah.
Like I said, you asked how does it get better than last night. Keep this going. That's how it gets better.
Please.
Keep going.
At least...
You're going to lose a game here and there. That's fine. But keep this going.
At least keep it going until early September when the Houston Texans take over. You know, give us
football
something.
Season.
Well, Chris, I was thinking to myself, what the hell are we going to talk about?
And then they just take a back seat.
Because I'll be honest.
We're so fickle.
Yes, of course.
We are so fickle.
But listen, I know this sports town.
Yeah.
I've been here long enough. This is a town where if the teams are not doing well, we're like, whatever. We won't pay attention.
I get it.
But right now, the Astros have gone from being like, whatever. God, we're going to be talking about C.J. Stroud and if he will be good this year every effing segment on Sports Radio 610. We have gone from that to now having something fun to help us glide to the end of the summer and into football season. And that gets me excited.
It definitely helps to have the Astros back on a winning track and in first place on top of that with a chance to increase their lead over these next couple of games.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I am curious if the Mariners are ever going to wake up. I do think the Mariners have a lot of talent. Seattle's 53-58.
Yeah.
And
it's rough up there right now for my peeps.
They've lost 8 of 10.
Yeah.
Including 3 of 4 against the Texas Rangers last week, and they lost 2 with 3 to the week and are playing the Twins this weekend. I mean, they are a team that I think has the arms to get back into the mix. But, I mean, last year, Cal Raleigh and his 50 home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like that's the biggest anomaly of his career. Cal Raleigh last season had 60 homers. Can you guess how many home runs Cal Raleigh has this year, Chris Partee?
Oh, I'm going to say, I knew this. Was it 20? No.
Christian Walker's got twice the amount of home runs that he has.
Wow.
Christian Walker. He's having a solid season, by the way, after the frustrating start to last year.
I know, yeah. I mean, but Christian Walker's played very well this year. He's bounced back.
He has 22 home runs. Cal Raleigh has 11 home runs. Wow. And he's played 78 games. It's not like he's played the entirety of the season, but can you guess what his batting average is? It's actually worse than the last time we talked about it.
He's not. Was he around the Mendoza line?
Oh, it's beneath the Mendoza line.
Oh, God. It's that bad?
It's that bad.
I have a friend who went to that lives out near Seattle, and she went to the game last night, and it was not a good sight.
You know, grunge is back in Seattle.
It was not a good sight.
Because even though they're the defending Super Bowl champions and they're very excited about
the Seahawks, yeah.
But during the summer, the Seattle Mariners are bringing grunge back.
Bringing everybody
which is
down.
like making it sad, yeah.
They're bringing everybody down.
There's just a long Alice in Chains song about, like, death, you know?
It is just, it has not been, but damn, below 200?
Cal Raleigh
is gracious.
Is hitting 164.
Yeah, man, hey. I mean, talk about needing a slump buster. Goodness gracious.
You know, a drunk person at a bar talking to his friend.
Goodness gracious.
This is the territory where you can claim and not be that far off that, yeah, I'm a better hitter than Cal Raleigh.
Wow.
In high school, I was better hitter than Cal Raleigh. I was better hitter than him.
Al Bundy with his 4 touchdown game in high school.
Polk High, bro. Don't hate.
Damn, 164, whatever it was.
It's crazy. And
wow.
I do think at some point they're going to wake up, but they just keep on falling further and further back. And now all of a sudden the American League West is the Astros and the Rangers. And the Rangers have been playing solid of late, but the Astros, I mean, they're the hottest team in the American League. They won 9 of 10.
But this is around the time when the Mariners usually begin to kind of fall off. But they've usually been playing a little bit better up to this day.
Well, historically,
this is around the time, around August, close to September. That's when they kind of fall off. Because I thought they were going to do it last year and just lose that league because I've seen it many times.
We've
all seen it.
You're right.
But it didn't happen.
They've had opopportunities that they've blown them, that's for sure.
They've blown many opportunities.
And it's funny. I mean, their best moments. It's the worst organization in the history of baseball. It really is. I've covered them for a little bit of time, and they have incredibly loyal fans. I know that Astros fans hate them, but because Mariners fans hate the Astros with a weird passion, considering how little they've mattered over the years. But I still look at them and I'm like, I think they could pull off what they pulled in '95 at the end of the year, where all of a sudden they got super hot and found their way back in and saved baseball there.
Hey, I was a huge Ken Griffey Jr. fan, so I was a Seattle Mariners fan. Still root for the team. I know people don't like to hear that, but I do. And I lived in Washington, for quite a few years.
We both did, yeah.
So it's I lived closer, further south than Seattle, but I was still a Mariners fan.
Vancouver, right? Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just been rough. But I remember that 95 season. Yeah. I was there. I was a kid. I was rooting for it. Griffey rounding the bases against the Yankees, whatever. But yeah, since then, it's just been rough. And they tend to just lose leads. When they are good, it just tends to not happen. And this year, they have pretty much struggled throughout.
They have
struggled. It's been up and down, but they've mostly been down.
Who scares you in the American League? 713-572-4610. Because it's probably not the Mariners anymore, and it's not the Rangers either. You just beat the hell out of them. You've won the Silver Boot Series. You're 155 against them since 2017. The Rays have the best record in the American League, 64-45. That is my mother's favorite team.
Really?
Yeah, I went to high school in St. Pete, which is in Tampa Bay. I used to live about a mile away from the Rays Stadium when they were the Devil Rays.
I remember those Devil Rays days. But so your mom's from Philly, but she's not a Phillies fan.
No.
Okay.
Because
I mean, that's not out of the ordinary.
If the Phillies do well, they'll root for the Phillies. Yeah. But my mom and my stepdad are from South Jersey. They went to high school together, and they started Rays games when they moved down to St. Petersburg because they're so affordable, and the Rays have been a pretty good operation. But you take a look at them. I mean, I look at them with a bit of a side eye. The Yankees are 62-48 with the second best record in the American League. The Red Sox 58-51. They have been on an absolute tear for the last month.
I know no one believes in them, man, but look out for those White Sox.
Bro!
I know nobody believes in them.
I mean,
and nobody can believe that they're actually in first place by, even 3 games, but...
Chris, it was last weekend I realized that they were in first.
Yeah.
I remember we were doing show prep, and I'm like, wait, what?
I don't think...
And you brought the White Sox hat in.
I did.
Yeah.
But we weren't streaming last week.
We weren't streaming last week.
But we are this week.
Yeah, see, so he's got the Astros hat
I got
on.
that. Yeah. I got a bunch of hats, man.
What's your favorite hat? What's your go-to hat?
Probably my Griffey hat.
Okay.
It's actually him. It's the Mariners colors, but it's actually his head. It's his head with the backwards cap.
Oh, okay.
His side profile.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've worn it before. I've worn it many times here. Yeah, I've worn it.
My favorite hat is my El Tiempo special Astros hat.
There you go.
I literally showed up at then Minute Maid Park at 9 in the morning to get one of those. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when it came out, I was like, well, I have to buy this.
Serious about this.
This is part of my brand. Yeah.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I was in the area. I tell everybody that no, I wasn't really in the area.
I was just passing by. I decided to stop in.
I did a TV appearance with Nate Griffin on Fox 26 that morning, and I was working across the street on the radio side of things, and I realized it is closer to Dyken Park now. At the time, it was Minute Maid Park. It is closer to go there than it is to go home. So I'm going to go spend $60 on a hat.
Why the hell not?
$60.
Hats are expensive, man. Hats are expensive, man.
It's so expensive.
I remember when fitted caps were $20.
God.
Like late 90s,
World War
early
II?
2000s. Yeah, damn near. It feels like it. Like literally, late 90s, early 2000s, they were still like $20, $25 if it was like a special edition. It's so crazy how expensive the same caps now are, like you said, $60. Some are more. If it's like a special edition, whatever it is, you might pay $75 for that cap, depending where you go.
Fred. Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Insane. He's Chris Partee. I'm Paul Gallant. I've got cockroach fever for our beloved Houston Astros. Bryson Scruggs behind the glass. 713-572-4610 is how you call. It's how you text. A quarterback that a lot of people think of as an a-hole had some interesting comments this week. And in a way, these comments can be brought back to another reason to have C.J. Stroud's back going into next season. Paul, what the hell are you talking about? Stay put. Paul Gallant, Chris Partee, Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Reset your presets.
Initialize.
Live from the West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land studios, it's Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Hall of Fame speech.
Oh, look out. Yainer Diaz. Another one deep to left. Nearly on the train tracks. Liftoff in the late innings for the Astros. Their third homer of the night. And the lead is 5.
He sounds like he's crying while he says that. Apple TV dude on the call last night as the Astros took down the Rangers 11-2. I'm sorry, I'm not giving his name on the air. I'm not going to give him more clout. I'm not going to give him a platform. Paul Gallant, Chris Barty with you.
Get him in no credit?
No, I'm not. I will give the guy who at the very beginning of that clip, who says, after Yainer hit that homer, because he smoked that thing.
Couldn't believe it.
Incredible performance for Yainer back-to-back nights. He is 8 for his last 10 with 2 homers, and he also had a nice defensive play last night.
8 for his last 10.
Mm-hmm. He's looking the way that everyone
800
thought he looked back in 2022 when everyone was mad that Martin Maldonado was playing more than Yainer Diaz.
I mean, if that's not an MVP, I don't know what is.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
I really don't. I
guess it was 2023. Dude, that's MVP caliber, and of course Jordan Alvarez is the MVP, and you got Jeremy Pena playing at an MVP level as well. The bats are great. The pitching is where I've got the questions, and we'll see Ronel Blanco tonight for the Astros against Jacob deGrom. Looking forward to going over to Daikin Park to keep an eye out. I will be out there. I'll be wearing a Justin Verlander 90s throwback jersey. They never wore those. I don't think they've worn the 90s throwbacks yet. I know they've got those Space City Connect uniforms, which are pretty nice. Baker Mayfield is the starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but some people are wondering how much longer he will be, especially after these comments that he made at his introductory press conference with the Bucs as they reported to training camp.
I mean, it's like I told you guys, it's all ball, and I don't want to talk about it. And if you've waited this long to take care of your franchise quarterback, that's too bad because it's only going to get worse. I'm going to have a really good year.
Baker Mayfield is somebody who described himself on the most recent season of quarterback on Netflix, Chris, as someone who's going to use every single chip that he has available to him to motivate him. And different quarterbacks operate in different ways. But there's a reason a lot of people, and I know the UT audience listening definitely feels this way, there's a reason a lot of people don't like Baker Mayfield. And I think the Bucs offered him a reasonable contract. It's not the kind of contract that he's looking for, but I think it was something that would have given him $50 million this coming season, and maybe the next year wasn't guaranteed. But Baker Mayfield is one of those guys that's always going to speak his mind.
Yeah.
And there is a part of me that wonders if he's perhaps trying to speak his way out of town.
Ooh. You think he's trying to get out of there, huh? Mm-hmm. Because they're not giving him, I guess, the contract length. I think
it's definitely that.
The $50 million, I'm sure he's not going to balk at that, but it's the, he probably want at least a couple more years added to that.
Mm-hmm.
So give him 3 years, right? Yeah, you said during the break that he kind of sounded like an a-hole.
Yeah, he did.
In that, and you're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong at all about that, but I think that's just Baker Mayfield. He frequently kind of sounds like an a-hole, doesn't he? Yep. Like, just in my opinion, he does. I mean, he just frequently kind of sounds like an a-hole. I was living and working, doing radio in Austin when he was in college. And he sounded salty many times back then, right? I think that's Baker Mayfield, but I also think that's the charm of Baker Mayfield. I've never been a big Baker Mayfield guy, but the last couple of years in Tampa, he's kind of turned me around on him.
Yeah,
I thought he played extremely well. Not very, but he's played extremely well.
If the season ended after week 8, he would have been MVP.
Yeah. Now, that doesn't say much because he did kind of come back to earth. But I'm just saying overall what he's done with Tampa the past few years that he's been there, he's turned me around. He's made me more of a believer than I ever was in Baker Mayfield before that. He really has.
Everyone died around him in the second half of the season. He also got banged up too.
He did.
So there's lots of excuses to be made for him in the same way that a lot of people make excuses for C.J. Stroud. But
of course.
Baker Mayfield believes he was disrespected with an extension offer that, per Jeremy Fowler, was a 2-year deal worth slightly above $100 million in total. So it's a 2-year extension, not necessarily a new 2-year deal.
Yeah.
If you want to look at C.J. Stroud, who's getting crushed for the way he showed up to training camp, which is insane, earlier this week. If you want to give
shorts,
if you want to give C.J. Stroud credit, first off, I think he took that in stride. At least he laughed at somebody making fun of him walking into camp.
Yeah,
that's a good sign. Another good sign is the way that he has handled questions about his contract. He is not under any delusions where you might have thought so at the end of his OTAs press conference where he was asked about his contract. Here is what C.J. Stroud had to say earlier this week when asked about a potential extension with the Texans.
I think, everything has been great. I'm focused on ball, trying to do what trying to just hold my bargain down on just the football side and do what I can, and what I should be doing as a quarterback of this team. So I'm letting them handle it, and it seems like everything is going great.
And you got a little more from C.J. Stroud here, talking about handling pressure and keeping the main thing the main thing.
Yeah, I think pressure is part of my job, so that's just something I think is part of the gig and something that I'm not, naive to, but also I've learned you got to keep the main thing and, just focus on one day at a time, one play, and the football is what's got me to even having the conversation to be able to get a second contract, so I got to focus on football.
It's very cliche. It sounds very rehearsed in practice, but I don't have a problem with that.
No, I don't either.
I have absolutely no issue with what C.J. Stroud just said because he could have very well come out there and sounded salty like Baker Mayfield.
Right,
so
exactly.
I got no issue with that.
And
None at all.
Look at it from the perspective of D'Amico Ryans, who was asked about potential extensions, and he said, people who get extensions, they earn them. And
that's not a lie.
I mean, CJ does have to be a more consistent player to, I think, earn the long-term extension. I don't think the Texans are looking to move on from him. They are saying that he's had this great offseason. That's what Nick Caserio has said a million times. And maybe they're being a little bit defensive of him. But, you see Baker Mayfield say that. You hear what C.J. Stroud says. I think that's another mini victory for C.J. Stroud in the court of public opinion. And by the way, he just can't win in the court of public opinion. But
that's rough, yeah. That's always rough.
For the sake of throwing it around, Chris, 713-572-4610, say Baker Mayfield is not long for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who would you rather have this season? Would you rather have Baker Mayfield or C.J. Stroud?
Are we saying just for one season?
Just for 1 year.
Oh, man. Just based on how they played recently, I'll probably say Baker Mayfield. Honestly, and I never thought I would say that. But just if we're saying just one season, this season coming up with that defense and the way Baker's played the past couple years, even just half of last year, I mean, if I can get that, this is probably a Super Bowl team. I would say Baker Mayfield, and believe me, I never thought I would say that, but I would.
It's going to be really interesting to see how the Bucs handle this. The Bucs are not going to trade him, but say the Bucs do trade him.
I don't think they are.
If the Bucs trade him, I think there's an unlocked level of Baker Mayfield. Like, he goes up a level. He's like, every single time he gets doubted and thrown to the side, it somehow does actually make him better. He is one of those few guys where he legitimately is fueled by disrespect. What happens if he ever gets respected? What happens if people are actually looking at him and saying, he's a top 10 quarterback?
He won't know how to act. But here's the thing. He's always had that chip on his shoulder, and I can see why. In terms of NFL, like your NFL prototypical quarterback, Baker's on the smaller side.
Oh, yeah.
He's never had the biggest arm. He's got a decent arm. He's got a good arm, but he's never had the biggest arm. Pretty accurate, but not the most accurate. I mean, he's kind of been, for a guy that was, he was the number one overall pick, wasn't he?
Yep.
For a guy that's been the number one overall pick, he's kind of been, behind the 8 ball a lot in his career to where he's been doubted so much. Even, coming up out of high school, going to college, everything. He's been doubted so much that I almost think he had to develop that chip to be successful.
Yeah, for sure.
In the NFL, for a guy of his stature. That, and not to say that we haven't seen other small quarterbacks like him play very well. Drew Brees, Russell Wilson for a long time, till the last few years. But I just think that chip on his shoulder is what really has made him more than solid player in the NFL, especially the past couple years that he's been with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, yeah. And back to what you said, if he were to be traded, I'm with you completely. That would unlock a whole nother level
I'd be curious
of a-hole in Baker Mayfield to where he might actually go out and play a full season where he gets MVP votes. He may not win it, but he may get MVP votes.
I hate the Jets, but it would be funny if he was on the Jets. God. I think it would work so great.
You think so?
The perennial little brother of New York.
Yeah.
And he's on that team all of a sudden. It would be fun. I think it would be interesting. If I'm picking between C.J. Stroud and Baker Mayfield this year.
I'm saying just 1 year, just this year.
Just for this year.
Yeah.
I would rather roll the dice on what can be.
Really?
Than have what I know Baker is.
Really?
So I've learned my lesson from 2017 on for probably far too long. I was a massive Carson Wentz stan. Massive.
I can see that.
Because 2017, much like C.J. Stroud was his rookie year, like there was a case to be made that he was MVP. And then he gets injured in that game against the Rams. And then the rest is history. Nick Foles takes over, and they win the Super Bowl. And it was just always awkward for Wentz going forward. And I guess he was a little bit obnoxious with religion, and it alienated him with some of his teammates. And listen, this is not me besmirching religion. It seems like he was just a little bit intense with it, at least from some of the stories I've heard. But I don't think that's the reason he didn't work out. But he always had the skills, I thought. We never saw what we saw his rookie year again.
He was the prototypical NFL. He's like 6'5".
And he could move.
230, could move,
right.
could throw on the run.
Yeah.
He was the prototypical NFL quarterback that we talk about.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out.
And look, CJ has the ability to move. He does have the ability to put a ball where he wants. He's got a pretty strong arm. Like, there are a lot of elements of CJ's game where you're like, man, if he puts it all together, great. And I mean, it always comes back to if he puts it all together. I would rather roll the dice on him putting it all together than having Baker. And I know what Baker is. And look, Baker's very good. Baker was better than Stroud last year.
You're right.
But I think there's a level that Baker can't get to, and you need to get to that level in the second round of the playoffs, in the conference championship game, especially in Super Bowl. And I still think CJ has it. I just don't know that it's going to happen with this offense, with this supporting cast, and obviously there's a lot of pressure on him.
I think the one thing, maybe the biggest difference between the two is the confidence level. Baker Mayfield, say what you want about him. I've said it about him sometime at different times, whether it's about his play or his attitude off the field, whatever it may be. He never lacks confidence in his ability. Now, he may not always come through for you, but he never lacks the confidence. And I think that's the biggest question that a lot of people have about C.J. Stroud is, where is his confidence? It's one thing to talk about it and say it, but you don't always see it on the field.
Yeah.
Right? You don't always see it on the field. And that's the thing. You're saying, okay, I'm willing to roll the dice on what I think CJ can be or what we think he should be. Yeah, we know what Baker is. I think if you can get what Baker was for the most part last season with this defense, if the running game, if the running backs are going to be healthy, I think you got a Super Bowl or like a serious Super Bowl contender there. Because I still think CJ and the offense are what is really holding them back from being
might not be
the real Super Bowl contender. That's just how I feel.
Hey,
about it.
that's totally
just
fair.
how I feel about it.
713-572-4610 if you disagree. From the 713, if we had Baker Mayfield as quarterback last year, we make it to the Super Bowl. You agree with that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people believe that. And that's what I'm saying. They probably do.
Last year, yes. This year, I don't know.
No?
And I think this is something you got to remember. Last year's AFC was weirdly
I get it.
bad. And I think the Chiefs are going to have more of a pulse this year. I know Mahomes is coming off of the injury. I think the Bengals are going to have more of a pulse this season. They got to stop procrastinating the first month of the season. It seemingly happens every single year.
Talking about the Bengals, right?
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Obviously, there were some injuries for Cincinnati that complicated things, but Baltimore is going to be better, I think, than they were.
I think they'll bounce back.
I think John Harbaugh's washed. I'm looking,
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That speech he did with the Giants.
He was there 18 years, right? Was 18?
With Baltimore? Yeah.
Was 18? Something like that. It was a long time.
And he finally got a quarterback. He never did anything with it. I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. The Ravens are going to be more of a threat.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, I think, will have more of a pulse than they did last year. The Bengals will have more of a pulse than they did last year. You got this great defense, but you need to go a level above. And I don't like Baker last year. Yeah, for sure, he's getting you to a Super Bowl. This year, I don't know.
So basically, you think he's going to take a step back? Is what you because that's what I'm hearing. He takes a step back.
I think he will. Okay. I think he will. I'm curious about that injury that he was dealing with in the second half of the year, the shoulder injury. How do you come back from that?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: if they don't come to some type of agreement here soon, trust me, I think Baker's going to show out.
We will see what happens.
I think he's going to show out wherever he's at.
Texter says, if we Baker Mayfield, the Vegeta of the National Football League. God, I love that comparison. Because tiny. And Vegeta always has a chip on his shoulder. Kakarot! Kakarot, you're a deadbeat father! Kakarot, you deadbeat father! You never work hard. I always work hard. Why are you number 1 and I'm number 2? You deadbeat father! My Bulma! He is Chris Barty. I am Paul Gallant. 713-572-4610 to call. To text, we're on YouTube as well. Another texter says, give me Baker over CJ. You can weigh in on that. Who would you rather have this year, Baker Mayfield or CJ Stroud?
Folks are on board with it. Folks are on board.
Up next, my God, I feel bad for this one Houston Texan who once again found himself in a very difficult spot at practice today. I'll tell you about that on the other side. Stay put.
Coach D'Amico shared his... Live from the West Point Lincoln and West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land studios, it's Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
Left field, way back there, and gone. Another shot by Paredes into the Crawford boxes.
Isaac Paredes, he went yard last night. Christian Walker went yard last night. Yainer Diaz went yard last night. 18 hits for the Astros, 11-2. They beat the Rangers. They're in first place by half a game, and they lead they've won the battle for the Silver Boot, their rivalry with the Texas Rangers already this season, and now above 500 for the first time in quite some time. Tonight, it's going to be Jacob deGrom on the hill for the Rangers against Ronel Blanco. Jeremy Pena leads off. Yordan Alvarez second. Isaac Paredes third. Christian Walker in the cleanup spot. Yainer Diaz, Jose Altuve hitting sixth. Taylor Trammell, Cam Smith, Lamont Wade Jr. wrapping up the lineup. Let's see if they can make it another victory, make it a 1.5 game lead in the American League West. I am hoping for a sweep.
I think it's a very good chance that we get it. Let me ask you this real quick. So,
hit me, Chris.
Earlier you mentioned how Altuve is, he's not the Altuve.
He's struggling this year.
The Altuve that we once
relative to what we look for from Altuve.
Are you willing to officially say that we're in the twilight of his career? Is it
sacrilegious?
I mean, obviously it's closer to the end than the beginning.
Blasphemy!
I'm just asking the question. That's all I'm doing is asking the question.
The numbers say it all, but we shouldn't have to say it.
I'm just asking the question.
That's me being a coward. I'm being a coward.
I know nobody wants to hear that. Obviously, nobody wants to hear that, but I'm just asking the question.
I love saying that. I'm just asking the question.
Hey, that's how you get out of it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
just asking the question.
Devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it. I'm just here to ask the questions.
Yeah, he's not young Jose Altuve anymore. No. It's a bummer.
Was he 35? Is he 35?
Bro, I think he's 36.
36, okay.
Hang on, let me look this up.
So, I mean, honestly, that wouldn't be shocking.
36 years old, May 6th, 1990.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's not
He's
shocking.
my age.
That's not shocking, man. No. You know what I mean? You're not going to play like you're 28 forever.
You're killing the vibes, man.
I'm not trying to. I just asked the question.
Chris Partee just asked the question: is Jose Altuve washed? Can you believe it? I'm kidding. I'm putting words to his mouth.
Bryson's back there laughing at me right now.
Yeah.
Bryson, how do you feel though? I mean, you
come on, Bryson.
You live here in the city. Like you watch the team. I'm sure you probably root for him.
Yeah, guys, everybody has their peak, and I don't think he's washed yet necessarily.
Okay.
But
oh my God,
yeah, the peak won't last forever.
You too are just trying to bring me down from my Astros high before I go to Dyken Park in a couple of hours. I'm all aboard.
We want you to go have your margaritas and enjoy the game.
They both just said. Now, if I were to edit the audio after the fact, I could make it so that both of you said Jose Altuve is washed.
You could.
Yeah,
you definitely could.
So I can just make everyone forget about me completely flip-flopping from last week, saying I was out, now I'm in.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. I am not someone that baseball operation should hand the keys of the car over to. I'd be very reactive. You think Jim Crane's flying by the seat of his pants, like signing a dude in Japan because, hey, there's some other successful Japanese players, or bringing in Rafael Montero and Jose Abreu and giving Michael Brantley a contract when he didn't have a shoulder? So I'd be worse.
So if at the end of this season the Astros are looking for a new GM, you're not going to throw your name into the hat, is what you're saying.
I mean, well, hang on.
You're not going to. That's what you just said, right? Bryson, that's what I heard.
I don't think I should be trusted.
That's what I heard.
That is true. You know what? Damn, they'd use this audio against me if I applied for it. Damn it. I didn't even think that the job might be open.
Hey, it might be.
Because I have faith that the Astros are going to win the World Series. Come on.
But haven't we seen that before?
Yeah, that's true. They did fire the GM after winning the World Series.
Again, I just asked the questions.
That would be hilarious if they won the World Series and they moved on from a GM again. That would be something else.
Not for Dana Brown.
No, not for him.
Wouldn't be hilarious for him.
It wouldn't be hilarious for him. But it would be funny to me, and I would apply. I would apply, but you can use this audio against me.
I think you should. I think you should apply.
If they hired me, like I would be stealing their money.
You wouldn't be the first.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. You wouldn't be the first guy to steal money.
Chris Partee and Paul Gallant with you. Sports Radio 610 Weekends.
I believe in you, man.
You believe in me?
I believe in you, dog. Damn.
I believe in a thing called love. What, Paul? What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Good question. I was at Texans training camp earlier today. I feel so bad for Jared Wayne.
Damn.
So remember, Jared Wayne was the one who ran into Tank Dell about a year and a half ago, caused him to get injured while he caught that touchdown pass against the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, today at practice, Derek Stingley was slow getting up at one point. D'Amico Ryan said after practice that he's fine. I guess we'll keep tabs on that going forward. But there was a moment where Stingley was slow getting up, and there was a deep collective hush over Texans training camp until he got up and he moved away and he wasn't limping or anything like that. But once again, it was accidental friendly fire in a competitive mode, not like it was with Jared Wayne and Tank Dell, but it was Jared Wayne. It was poor Jared Wayne once again, who did not have the best day at practice.
That's some bad luck, man.
I feel bad for Jared Wayne.
Really bad.
That
luck,
would stink.
Man.
I mean, if Derek Stingley did get seriously injured there, oh my God, the comment section. Do you think it's bad for CJ Stroud online because of what he wore to training camp?
Woo.
Poor Jared Wayne.
I feel really, now that you say that, I feel really bad for him too. That like two of the team's stars.
Yeah.
You run into them. It's just bad luck, man.
It's friendly fire.
Horrible.
713-572-4610 is how you call. It's how you text. We did ask at the end of the last segment, who would you rather have for this coming season, CJ Stroud or Baker Mayfield? A texter from the 346. If Mayfield had our defense, we probably would already have a Super Bowl championship. CJ played like bleep in the playoffs. That's on him. All he had to do was not turn the ball over. It was embarrassing. He's got to show off this season to deserve that big money. Yeah. I mean, we're going to keep on saying that until the season begins.
But that's not the only text like that. There were a few texts.
A lot of them.
That are in favor of Baker. We were talking about just one season? This season?
I would rather roll the dice on the guy who has a higher ceiling.
I get it.
Even though I agree that Baker Mayfield would have gotten them to the Super Bowl last year. I don't know that the Texans were beating the Seahawks, though.
I mean, maybe not. But we're talking about, hell, can the Texans get to the AFC title game? We're jumping a game. We're jumping the gun here. Just get to the AFC title game. You've never been.
Given the amount of hype for the Texans from national pundits.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
they've got them in the Super Bowl now.
Expectation.
They've got them in the Super Bowl already.
That's the expectation nationally. I think locally we're a little more measured, and there is Houston football fan syndrome where you're always expecting the worst to happen. Like a team moves or something like that.
Expecting the bottom to fall out at any minute now.
Yeah.
That's just how it is sometimes.
It do be like that.
But this is a very good team. This should be a very good Texans team again. I mean, honestly, for me, a disappointing regular season would be anything less than 11 wins.
Yeah.
I'm talking about regular season.
Yeah.
Anything less than 11 wins to me would be kind of disappointing.
I'm with you. I think less than 11 wins puts you in danger in the playoffs, too.
It does.
I think it's going to be a more competitive AFC this year, and you got to take care of business in division. You're better than the Colts, you should sweep the Colts. You're better than the Titans, you should sweep the Titans. Jaguars are on your level now. They are. And I know we hate to admit that, but they are.
So you think they're going to follow it up?
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea who's going to win the AFC South. I think
no. But I'm just saying, you think they're going to be good again?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
that's
what I mean.
I do. I think. Listen, I got questions about Trevor Lawrence, but I think the same questions you ask about Trevor Lawrence, you can ask about CJ Stroud. I think that the accuracy issues from time to time with Lawrence, and then also the brain farts he randomly has. Like I think they're a lot more similar than we'd like to admit, except for Lawrence is more athletic and doesn't really use it as much, except for when he's running around awkwardly like a giraffe and getting murdered by Aziz Al-Shaair.
Like a giraffe.
Yeah. Brock Osweiler. I'm used to quarterbacks running like a giraffe. He and there's something about
Brock Osweiler.
Lawrence is more athletic than him, but I don't know. There's something about Trevor Lawrence.
He's a little gangly.
Yeah.
Little like I don't want to say uncoordinated,
it's the
but
hair. The hair doesn't help. No.
So you think he should cut it? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I do. I think he looks like a medieval page boy. I think he looks like King Arthur from the Sword and the Stone Disney movie from the 1960s.
As someone that only has hair on their face, I think he should keep it.
That's a fair point.
I don't have a lot of hair, so
Counterpoint. Counterpoint. Keep it if you can.
I think you should keep it. Keep it as long as possible is what I'll say.
He would look like Lex Luthor if he shaved all of his hair off. So, yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
He's kind of strange looking, huh?
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit.
I don't think he's got the right shaped head, really, to go with that. I don't know if he does.
Well, it's impossible to tell with all that hair he's got up the top. Yeah, it's always wondered if I were to shave my head, how many lumps would be there? Like, I'm glad I've got a head of hair because I'm pretty sure the amount of times I've banged up my head, it would probably be just look like a moon, just cratered everywhere.
Oh God.
Anyway, that's gonna wrap up today's edition of Sports Radio 610 Weekends. Shout out to Bryson Scruggs behind the glass on the ones, the twos, and the threes. Chris Partee, you are back on the air tomorrow, correct?
I am. Me and Brandon Scott tomorrow from 12 to 3, baby. 12 to 3 again.
Chris Partee and B. Scott. I am merely Paul Gallant. So long. Farewell. Go Astros. Cockroach fever, baby. Have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.
How is CJ Stroud handling the pressure